Hi guys, welcome to the Tavern podcast where we are virtually online because Glenn has sped COVID to us all. I'm here. You've been kissing people we've got Keith over there. We've got COVID boy down there.
I don't know if that'll match what Kaif's recorded.
Oh yeah, so for me, like Glenn's above me, Gary's there, Rob's there.
Well, I was just like, we've got Keith, we've got Glenn, and we've got new guest Gary for the first time.
Hey, hey, bet.
Oh,
It's weird doing
I am
a
alive.
podcast.
He
and
has
well,
been on the podcast by telephone a few times, I think. Like,
just the once, so he was getting called about
ginger.
cans.
Mate, just because they don't call it a bottle of ginger or a bottle of fucking juice, like, it's not my problem, is it? Like,
we had that full dialogue with the whole juice, not juice, diluting juice,
I know, mate.
squash,
It's
all that
It's
nonsense.
squash and wait, what do you call ginger? Can of ginger? What is that?
I call it kind of ginger, just like pop.
I call
in
it fizzy juice.
Yeah, but
You
what
call
is it?
pop.
what ginger ale you call fizzy juice?
Yeah, well, it's fizzy juice, isn't it?
Yeah, and fizzy, mate. I've called it fizzy juice as well, but a bottle of ginger, like, as well. I've called it.
You all call it pop, didn't you? Cool pop.
I just call it
yeah.
by its name. Like if I wanted to give me a Coke, I'm ask for a Coke. If I want Pepsi, I ask for a Pepsi. It's like,
Aye, but it's just faffy, isn't it? Because like you don't know what they've got, and it's just like, oh, I'll take any fizzy juice you've got. Whereas
yeah, and
you're
like,
like
if
I'll
I went to
take a
somebody's
ginger ale.
house,
Oh,
yeah,
they've not got that. Oh,
I
I'll
go,
take a
oh,
ginger
can I have a
beer,
fizzy
oh, no,
drink?
got that.
I just go fizzy drink.
I felt like it was
Aye.
pop when I was a kid. Like when you'd get like the Panda Pops or whatever. Like if I go with my grandparents.
Pop.
You don't remember Panda Pops?
Mate, they were. I remember the one with the polar bear surfing, and it was like the cheap ginger, like it was just like cola, and it tasted like acid in your mouth, like.
Nice.
There's been loads of like knockoff colas though, isn't there?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
squash and diluting juice was the one we argued for ages.
Aye, because diluting juice makes sense in squash, doesn't it?
Because you dilute the fucking juice, like, do you know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I get it, but it's too many words.
What do you
Squash.
Yeah, but squash just has no like it makes no sense.
Yeah, you're
What you're buying
you're
is
squashing
concentrated.
the juice into the water.
Yeah.
What
What's inside the bottle is concentrated.
you sound like you're compressing it with a hammer or something like that.
It is. It's being compressed with a hammer into a bottle of squash, and then you pour it into
Right,
water, and it
Yeah.
Oh, right.
unsquashes.
So you're saying the process before it's in the bottle.
No, the thing in the bottle is
Yeah.
concentrated.
That's why it's called squash, guys. It's being squashed into a condensed liquid.
No.
Yeah.
It's been concentrated.
Squash, concentrated. Like, what's the difference?
Diluting.
Dilute. Yeah. Yeah, but like you say, diluting juice. That's a ton of syllables. I just go squash.
Aye, but it rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Like
Oh, diluting juice.
it just sounds like it's like continuing on the sentence, where squash sounds like full stop, exclamation
It is a
point,
full stop.
done
Give me
so.
my fucking squash. Full stop.
Fair enough.
So to go into the problem that obviously Keith and Glenn are wrong in this, right? I think that people want to know how Gary joined the Salt Raiders, like.
Oh, here we go. Well, I think Kyle's probably going to dispute this.
I am. Yeah.
I already know he's gonna, but there was a YouTube video on Reddit. I'm trying to think. I can't remember what one it was, but there was one of the first three or something on Reddit. But it was also like a recruitment page on Reddit because you were like looking for raiders and stuff. And I remember messaging you on that, and you messaged to me, just whisper me in game. So I whispered you, and you were like, "Come along," and I was like, "Right, cool." So I came along, and then I got insulted by Sam, and it was like love at first sight.
I should be able to find that, should I not?
The
I
video
just
on
seen
the
it.
Reddit.
Did you
I've seen the Reddit. I've seen
It
the
should
Reddit.
it should all still exist, right?
Did
if
you
it's on Reddit?
DM me, Gary, on Reddit, or did you respond on the
No,
post?
I was like, yeah, I just commented or something like that, and I think you replied to me on Reddit.
Yeah, I've seen the comment. It's definitely there. It's definitely on one of the videos.
How do I get to my oldest post?
What's your
quickly?
Reddit? What was your Reddit username, Gary?
Well, I'm assuming it's the same as it is now, which is. Oh fuck! I'm not logged in. Is it GTO 212 or something?
I don't see a recruitment.
It was a video you put on, Keith. It was a video you put on one of your videos, and Gary commented something like, "I love the look of this group."
Oh, I'd love to join
I
if
think
I can.
it's,
You
I
messaged
think
you,
that's your
responded,
Twitter one,
said,
Gary.
"Wait
Which
for
post
your-"
is it?
Oh, an old one.
Did you,
I
well,
think that's your Twitter username.
If you
Gary.
give me the post, I can find
is
it
it?
pretty quick.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. The only way I can get the username is right. Give me a sec.
Okay.
It's GTO 101. Sorry, all confusing all this stuff in it. So can I just click on my name and see like what I've?
Yeah,
you
you
could
can
go
see
into
things you
your-
responded on.
So I'm basically going to the first thing I ever.
How many
did on
years ago?
Reddit and, 4 or 5. It must be the first. Oh, here we go. I found it.
Yeah, which post is
Oh,
on?
yeah.
Raid Bullion.
He joins from a video.
Wow,
called
is you find a post called Raid Bullying going, I love the look of your group, mate.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
is your
it's,
guild...
this is
yeah,
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Is your guild still looking for raiders?
I'm
I'm
currently a serious
raider.
raider, but getting fed up with it. I'm looking for an EU guild that's chilling up for a laugh. Would be interested in joining if you're still taking people. My main currently is blah 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 Holy Paladin, but if you have ever any guild needs, willing to try another class, we'd be happy to transfer servers for an atmosphere like that. And you went, yeah, man, we're on Draenor Horde side. You gave me your battle.net. Bear in mind, we abuse each other a lot and we're not cutting edge. And then I think I whispered you and you invited me.
That's Sam's Battle.net, that is.
No, that's Kaif's.
What,
Is it?
Sleepy Bear? That's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I
Kaif's.
thought that was Sam.
Wow, Glenn.
And then I joined the raid on a Demon Hunter because I leveled a Demon Hunter up to play on that server. I joined your first raid. I remember singing "My body's nobody's body but mine" for some reason.
I remember when Gary DM'd me in WoW, he's like, hey man, big fan, can I join?
But that never happened.
It did though, didn't it?
No, I never.
The problem is you'll never find the WoW proof.
No, but like we found the first message, which was on Reddit, and then
Yeah,
the
you were
follow-up
like,
was,
it,
"Oh,
it
it's
says in
me
the message
from
here, he
Reddit."
said, I love your guild, are you still looking for raiders? I'm currently a serious raider. I've
Yeah,
loved you
whoa,
guys
I
for a
never
long
said I
time.
love your guild.
Kai, if you saying that he kept DMing you on WoW and you ignored
Aye.
him, and then he went
Yeah,
to Reddit.
yeah, and then he went to Reddit. Gary, you messaged me, it was like, hey bud, love your videos.
Never.
You
That
did.
was it. That was the first one.
He's
Is your
like,
guild
hey
still
bud, love your
looking for
videos.
raiders?
I messaged you on Reddit,
You
can I join?
falsified my claims. I'm not a fanboy, or I am now. I wasn't back then.
Oh, nice. Meet
I
heroes
love you
then.
guys.
I
That's
grew
That's
up.
I love
crazy
your
though that
videos.
was 6 years ago. Like.
6 years. I only thought it was 4 or 5 or something, but fucking hell, 6 years.
Crazy.
I was so young back then. I basically got groomed into this. I don't know.
That's what Kai replied to you, like. Message me on Reddit so it looks like you're the one who's trying to join.
He put in the whisper greater than 18 question mark and went no winky face.
Oh, that's grim.
Oh.
Fanboy.
That's obviously not me though.
Yeah.
Just like the atmosphere, I was a super hardcore raider back then, obviously.
Well, the weird thing is, you said you're a serious raider, right? And I said, we abuse each other a lot and not cut an edge. And you were like, yeah, that's me. I'm serious raider.
Yeah, well, I just was getting fed up with the serious raiding. That's because what happened basically, because Legion was my first expansion on WoW.
Wow, it didn't take long, did it?
All my pals played at the start and then got me into the raiding and stuff, and then all of them dipped and left me in a guild full of like serious dickheads, and I was just like, I'm getting fed up with this. And then I don't know, I think someone linked your Reddit post, and then I watched the video, and then I was like, could do with that atmosphere and not this atmosphere.
It's crazy that it took a single expansion towards the start to make you go, fuck serious raiding.
Yeah. Well, because so never playing WoW before, we did Eternal Nightmare, and I was like, this is all right. Like, my pals having a laugh and stuff. And then the new raid came out, and it was like, oh, Gary will raid lead because he can, like, fucking tell people shut the fuck up, and he's loud. Okay. I tried it, and then it got fucking really, like, just... Raid leading just fucking ruined WoW for me, I think, at that point, to be honest with you, because I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I watched that video, and I was like, this is what I'm after.
When did you start playing like other games with us then? Because I barely played Legion, so I can't think the
So-
first time when I started interacting with you quite often. Like,
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I mean, not that long. I mean, I must have raided for a good bit because I remember playing PUBG with Dale.
Yeah, that was one of
Hmm.
the first
Um,
games we moved to, wasn't it?
Yeah. And do you remember we had that bot in Discord where you could play music?
hmm.
And I like Dale, never spoken to Dale before. We were in a lobby, the four of us. I died and I was like, fuck it, I'll play some music. And he just screamed, he's like, who the fuck is playing music while I'm clutching? Not clutching, obviously.
Clutching.
But like he absolutely fucking knew her. I was like, oh, it was me. And he's like, who the fuck are you? And I was like, oh. And then like I don't know, we just played more games than that. Like look at the fucking loving relationship we have now. Considering it started off and he was fucking angry at me. To be fair, Glenn, first game we must have played must have been PUBG, eh?
I can't think, like,
Oh, can you
because
imagine Glenn
was,
playing
so,
PUBG? Oh my
that
god.
was at the same time though when obviously Kaif started doing more videos, right? And I was pretty scared of like being in the
People.
videos.
Yeah. Was it For Honor maybe, Glenn? Because For Honor was
No,
also
I didn't really,
quite-
I didn't
No,
really
Glenn
play
didn't
that.
touch that.
No, so that's what I mean. The more like initially, the more like Kaif was doing the videos and stuff,
Mm.
the less I played the games that were being used for videos. If that makes sense.
Yeah, Glenn
But
didn't
then-
play
I
with
don't
me
know why
until he started a YouTube channel.
Nice one.
Fine, mate. Like, you're annoying because I remember you used to stream and use webcam and all that years before you got bigger. Like, if you know what I mean.
He did, yeah.
You say used to? I did it like 3 or 4 times.
I remember though, like, I remember,
Yeah.
like, and then you didn't use webcam when you came back.
I
last
did
week.
it once or twice when I moved into the flat in Barry, but not for. That's about it. Like,
Daddy.
I
You know
still
what,
think.
Glenn, sorry, Rob.
No, I'm good. You continue because I was going to say the first time I met you because it's the weirdest
Oh,
way I met you.
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know?
I was literally about to talk to him about it. Glenn, I think it might have been Josh that introduced us. Because he was like playing like shooters and stuff. We started kind of playing that separately, and then he invited you and Simon as well. Because
Possibly.
I don't think Simon raided at that time either.
because I know when the first time was when like was it Josh and Rob that met you first?
Aye.
In
So
person, like.
So we raided for what, a month or something, and then immediately Sam and Josh were like, by the way, you already seem to have like clicked in quite well. EGX is happening. So this was March or April or something. And Josh and Sam are like, we're going to EGX, and is it October when it is or whatever? So after a month, they were already like, you should come to this event with us. And I was like, oh fucking hell, like I just met these people. These fucking old guys, group of old guys, and here's young me joining in. Like I was like, oh, this is fucking
It's very
ropey,
brave.
but
Very brave.
yeah, well, thank you, thank you. I was sitting here
The
getting
worst part
groomed.
is that I remember when you come down. and
Yeah,
we were
well,
all like, we were worried. We were the group, and we were like, fuck,
you
what
were
if he
worried.
fucking murders us? Like,
Well,
you know. But
so
it must have
that-
been even more scary for you, like.
Aye, but so that happened. We talked about it, and we're like, aye, okay, that sounds good. And then that wasn't spoken about before. And then that summer, I moved down to Luton for work. And Josh randomly messaged me and was like, "Oh, I'm going to be in Luton for work. Like, do you want to meet up for dinner and stuff?"
Ooh.
And then was like, "I'm going to meet you, and then you can come and stay at mine and meet all the boys." And then before we go to EGX, so it's a wee bit less pressure on you and stuff like that. He did not mention Rob. He did not drop Rob was going this person I've never spoken to, because Rob never played games at that point. Never
No.
mentioned any of that. But I was in a pub. Josh walked in. I'd already like knew what Josh looked like and stuff like that. We met each other, and then fucking Rob walked in behind. And he's like, "Oh yeah, this is my colleague. He's from Scotland. You'll get along." I was like, "Nice to meet you." So then me and Josh are like chatting about like usual online stuff, like taking the piss out of each other, and then Rob's sitting there just kind of laughing away. And then all of a sudden, me and Rob just like clicked and just started slagging Josh off, and it was like, it was just so natural. Like it was fucking so good.
What Josh didn't tell you with that story, Rod, he went about an hour out the way to go to Luton just to meet
Never
you
told
first.
me that.
What,
Just to meet you first. 'Cause all I kept saying in the cars, mate, all the boys are going to be jealous. I'm meeting Gary first. Sam's going to be fuming, and I'm just sitting laughing. What he's talking about? Like,
He's such a little snake.
You never mentioned that.
I
I've
love
never
how he's
heard
making
that
out to
before.
Gary, like, oh yeah, I'm basically next door.
Me,
Well, he
was in the
basically
car.
said he was like, we're in Luton, but an hour away is definitely not in Luton. Luton's so fucking small, like.
Oh, it was so weird, like.
And then Sam's. So then the time I met you was Sam's birthday, and his partner at the time had messaged me and was like, "I'm throwing a surprise party for Sam. I know how well you get on with Sam. Like, she's obviously heard of me and Sam. Like, because me and Sam, we got on. I got on with. Well, I felt like I got on with everyone. I don't know the real story. Everyone probably thought it was a prick or something. But me and Sam like seemed to. Well, I clicked with everyone, but me and Sam clicked, especially at the time as well. He was my online dad, so to speak, which sounds awful.
After talking about grooming, that sounds bad. Like.
Yeah, it sounds really bad. Still call him Papa these days. So. Or Daddy. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's not weird or anything, but that's fine. That'd be good. It'd be nice to meet. And Josh encouraged me and was like, it'd be good to meet. So that was the first time coming to Wales where I got the coach from Luton. Josh picked me up at 11:30 at night in the middle of an empty car park. Normal, not sketchy at all. Took me to a McDonald's full of Rajas. Someone threatened to batter some person over the counter and stuff. I was like, okay, Wales is interesting. And then we went back to he introduced me to his partner. Complete stranger, was not awkward whatsoever. They chucked me in a spare room in their house and I got mauled by their cat. Which was a fucking story and a half. I don't think I'll ever forget that. Basically, they locked me in a room. They shut me in a room. And before they did that, Josh came up to me privately and was like, I'm just going to have to say this because my dad told me to, but please don't steal anything. And then he shut the door. Yeah. He took me to a side and told me not to steal anything, despite the fact he was letting me stay in his house.
I can reveal something about that. His dad didn't say anything.
Oh, did he not?
No. You never thought maybe that Josh was just using someone else to sort of like slide that one to you?
I thought that's a loving, caring father he's got there.
The thing is, right?
It's like going, my friend says you're a prick, by the way. Like, they're the ones saying it. They're just using someone else.
What did I do to your friend, Kaif?
I just thought he thinks you're a prick, mate.
But see you were the person who went there with the intention of stealing, and they were like, "Don't steal." You're not gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
Damn, you got me.
You got me, man. You're still gonna do it, aren't you?
Did he use
This
flat
close.
at that point?
What?
Pardon me?
Did Josh have his own flat at that point?
Nah, this was the house. Like, was it his uncle's house or?
Mate, I think I went to that party, right?
No,
and I
Sam's
never knew
party.
anybody. Oh, right. No, I went to one with Josh where we were doing a...
Yeah, but it wasn't. No, this was Sam's party. So he took me up in the spare room, shut me in there, and we're like, "We're gonna shut you because we've got cats fucking all about the place." It's like, right, cool. Lay there in bed, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here? Like, this is really like." If my mum knew I was here, she'd be going fucking mental. Like,
Where did your mum think you were?
shouldn't have. I didn't.
In Luton, like.
I didn't. Yeah, I never like gave her a fucking update. To be fair,
to meet random strangers online.
Yeah, thinking about it now, it should have been like, by the way, I'm going here. I'm meeting these strangers. If you don't hear from me in an hour,
Yeah, you should have told your mum.
I should have, but I never because I'm a fucking dumb shit. But I could have died, and no one would have been none the wiser.
Yeah.
So trust. The trust was mutual here. So I lay in bed, and then like this like shape fucking flew over me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then it did it again, and then like I had my arm like dangling off trying to get my phone, and then like something sharp like scratched me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then a cat jumped on the bed, and I like literally, I think Josh and Ali like told me they were like all they heard nothing, and then went, "Oh, you fucker!" And Josh came running through, and a fucking cat on top of me. Like.
Nice.
But that weekend, we went. Oh, and then we met you, Glenn, and Dale at the cards, where you were kept me occupied. And then we went to Sam's party.
Is that the first time I met you?
That was the first time we met. Yeah, was the cards where that guy shoulder bars me.
And you try to start a fight?
Yeah, you did.
No, I was angry, but
He was
yeah,
angry though.
yeah.
You didn't want to drop
by the
it.
way, I'd
It's
like to point out
pre-Pascari,
that
so like, you know, you were angry back then.
the way Dale and Glenn always talk about this situation is that like he was just casually walking in that, but these were like wide corridors between tables, right?
No, it was a tournament.
No,
it
hold
was
on.
busy.
Yeah, it was busy, but like tables were far apart, and there was loads of space, loads of people in that. This guy, right, actually like increased his density and brought shoulders out.
This is not what
No,
happened,
he did. Then I'm not accepting it because you were busy fucking nerding out on the table.
No, this was a guy who was
You
super
were.
timid, who's played like card games all his life, and the stereotypical of what you thought of.
The super timid guy that one of his shoulder bars we said, "Wash out, butt."
Nah.
He did. I
Also,
shit you not.
That's the same day that we stole Josh's phone, and he got really
No,
angry.
Was that not? Oh, it was. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never stole it. There was these little like leaflet things in like a triangle. You know, they've got like holes in them and they've got like different
Oh,
adverts on
yeah.
the side. We put his phone in one of those right in front of him, and he was like, "Who's got my phone?" Like, I'm not joking around. I will leave in 2 minutes if someone doesn't give me my phone. Gary, I'm your only ride. You're not gonna get anywhere. All your stuff is at my house. Give me my phone. I was like, I've not got it. And then he was like, Glenn, I will unfriend you. Like, I'm fucking done. I'm not pissing about. And he left. And then Glenn, you went to the toilet, didn't you, with his phone?
Yeah.
And he was like, right, boys, I'm off. And Dale was like, Glenn's got your phone in the toilet. But I think he was fully intended on leaving.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, every time somebody new comes on this podcast, there's always an arsehole story about Josh, isn't there? Like,
I mean, to be
like,
fair,
we
we
had
were
literally
phone.
drive
we were
away.
the
like-
assholes in that story.
Yeah, we
like,
had
we
his
were
phone,
hiding
there's
his phone.
nothing.
Yeah, but
but-
if you're telling me that story, you've come all the way across.
He was going to
stay
strand
in-
you.
Exactly. He was going to strand you in the middle of carpet,
See,
mate.
With Dale and Glenn, though, that would have been safe.
I got all my timings mixed up, see, because I would have thought like EGX and stuff was before that card tournament.
Sam's birthday was before EGX.
Hmm.
And then obviously the party happened, and that started off with the taxi door. That started off with squaring up to Simon,
Yeah.
and then finding out it was Simon. That was then meeting loads of strangers and getting absolutely steaming. I believe I cried. I believe I believe I cried to Pierre and people I had just met and was talking about stuff probably shouldn't have been talking about. I almost murdered Kaif.
I was gonna say, is that the one you choked Kaif?
It is,
Yeah. So that was lounging about out my tits, pished. And then I think Kaif went, "Wait, got a picture or something from the other
Yeah.
side." And I just wasn't for it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wasn't. I don't like getting my picture
you
taken.
wanted Kaif's phone so you could make sure the picture was deleted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like getting my picture taken, but I never thought I was at the point where I would kill someone to get my picture removed from their phone. But I went over, tried to grab his phone, and Kaif very dexterously avoided every form of movement. The phone was not being caught by me. Whatever I did, Kaif was way ahead of me in terms of speed, agility, dexterity. All his stats were maxed out, whereas here's me just fucking fumbling about. So I thought, fuck it, go for the source. Probably. I put it down and pushed, and I thought well, I have no idea what I was thinking, but I think I was being joking, but I quite clearly wasn't. And I don't remember noticing a lot out with. I just remember me laughing. I think I remember you laughing, Kaif. But
I was
honestly,
laughing, yeah.
You could have been crying.
I was
or
laughing,
screaming.
like, pillow on my face, phone like this.
Because I remember it was one hand on the pillow and me still trying to get the phone.
Yeah, you
And I
weren't getting
could
that
not
phone.
Get the phone. No, it was like he can't see anything, he can't breathe, but wherever my hand goes, his hand's already left that position. Like,
And everyone else
And-
is just watching me die.
yeah, which I was oblivious to because I
Did
was
you
like,
worry you were going to die, Keith?
I was like, I need
Nah.
this phone, but I don't remember how it stopped. To be honest with you.
I don't know. I don't think Gary was able to really cover my face properly because he was too drunk. But yeah,
That sounds right.
nobody else knew that, and they just kind of watched it happen.
I think
Wow.
that was probably then like your first talking to for like being too aggressive.
No, I didn't get talking. Well,
No, not then, was it?
Not that maybe that night, but I don't remember shit about
Great,
it.
Oh,
great
okay.
friends, great friends.
Yeah,
But
but I mean, I feel like I remember listening to the podcast where you regaled this story, Kev, and I think I messaged you right after, and I was like, "By the way, I am so sorry for what I've did. I'll never forget almost killing one of my best pals. Like,
You know the best part about that story, Gary, is that I was so drunk I had failed to take a photo of you anyway.
yeah, I remember
So
you telling me
there was
that.
actually nothing on the phone, and I almost died for it.
But I mean, you showed like heart, you showed courage, you showed
Yeah.
bravery, dexterity, agility. Like
I knew the
all
only way
these
you were getting in that
qualities.
phone was with a password, and even if you killed me, you weren't getting in. Because my phone was too
That
old for
picture-
fingerprints at first.
That picture would have died with you.
Yeah.
I love the thought process though of right, I can't get the phone, I'll kill him.
I'll kill him and I'll figure it out afterwards.
Hey, let's go to the source. And then I'll cut his finger off for the password.
There was no fingerprint on it at the time.
What was it not?
Yeah, it was going to my grave.
And then I don't remember anything that happened after that, apart from spewing in a bucket, which was a netted bucket with holes around the side.
Nice.
So when I spewed in it, it sprinklered back onto me. And then I don't remember this, but I remember Sam saying that he walked in on me, curled around this bucket, completely naked. I was stark, like hugging a bucket, spewing in the bucket.
Do you know why you got naked?
Ah.
Why did you get naked?
I was ready for bed, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, you sleep
The
naked,
worst
right?
part is,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sam,
Usually, like I sleep in
Wait,
other people's.
And
I don't sleep
didn't something
naked
happen
in-
that night while you were in bed?
I
Asleep.
don't sleep naked in like other people's beds. I usually wear boxers, but obviously drunk me was like, "Wait, fucking bedtime."
Gary, is that
Birthday
not
suit.
the night where you shit yourself in bed?
No,
Or pissed yourself?
no.
Was there
I
another
don't-
night?
Have I pissed myself in someone's bed?
I'm pretty sure you soiled somebody's bed.
Sam
that
pissed
not
himself
Sam?
in Josh's bed.
I think that was Sam.
Okay.
Look, I have some dignity. Some very little.
You say about dignity, right?
The dignity of curling up in a ball and spewing in a fucking netted
met-
bucket.
I almost killed someone. I curled up naked next
But
to a bucket.
you must have met
Peed on
Sam,
myself.
right? Like Sam had met you for less than 12 hours and he saw you naked.
Yeah. And this was the thing I think he talked about in an earlier podcast, but this was like Steph sneaked me into his computer room, shut me in there, and then everyone like went and said hi to Sam and that. So I was up there for maybe half an hour in that, and that room's fucking hot. So I was sweating absolute fucking buckets in this room that had one window that was shut. And then he comes up, and I think he jumped on me and I grabbed him, but like we stuck to each other because of how sweaty I was. Like there was, you know, that suction noise there. There was definitely that going on, like. But I think that's how that first night concluded. To be perfectly honest.
Very
with
correct.
you.
Wait, didn't Dale threaten you that night, or was that a different one?
No, you mean when he force choked me?
Yeah.
No, that was another night.
All
No,
the, like-
I love that.
Was that
story.
Stink Eye Dale that night?
No.
When he was like, huh?
One Eye Pete was at Josh's house, and that might be the party Rob was thinking about. So obviously the EGX happened. EGX was fucking amazing. I had a great time. We had that house. I threw a hissy at you, Glenn, because of the Deliveroo rider.
Oh,
Wait, yeah, what did the delivery rider do?
So we were on the pavement, walking back to the car, in a line, as lads do, hand in hand. And a cyclist was coming towards us on the pavement, on the road, and then came onto the pavement. I'm assuming there was a car or something. And then, like, basically cycled kind of, I was on the far right and in my direction, and he was like, "Get out of the way, you fucking cunt." And, like, I moved and then turned around and was like, "Who are you calling a cunt?" And then he just put his finger and cycled on. Like, he should have been on the road, but that fucking, in my head, I was like, right, well, he's gone because he's faster than me. He's on a bike, but I'm not going to forget this. And it made me really angry.
You were so fuming in the car going back home.
He called. What happened, Glenn? What did I do? Like, he just...
Yeah, it was just the reason I remember you being like,
yeah,
like I want to fight him. Like if he was walking,
I couldn't. Yeah. Oh, I
he
would
was
have ran
walking
at
and he
him.
was on a bike and he wasn't faster than me, I would have fought him. And
I
we were
would
just
have
like,
clobbered him, Glenn.
we were just like, all right, I get he was a dick, like, we don't need to fight him, do you? And you're like, nah, I'd fight him. And then we went and did shopping, didn't we?
Well, we'd already done the shopping. We were walking back to the car with it, and then we got out. You went to the boot, and you were picking up bags. And you were dropping bags, and in my red state of anger, I went, "Move out of the way, Glenn," and scooped them all up and just walked to the apartment. Like, didn't wait for anyone. I walked because I think we were in Josh's car, but everyone else was already at the house.
Yeah.
And I came in, dropped the bags off, went straight to the bedroom that I shared with Harley and Kaif. I lay on the floor. I put Wu-Tang Clan on the earphones. The floor was like that. It wasn't flat. There was a slope to it. Do you remember that, Kaif?
Which
It's
part?
the
Like
house
our
we stayed in
bedroom.
where
It was the house on the corner, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Our bedroom had a slight incline to the,
No, I
the
did.
floor.
Yeah.
So originally I lay and then I felt myself starting to roll to the side. So I turned myself around. So I was like that. And I think, I can't remember who came in, was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, calming myself down, like lying flat on the floor. I think it might have been Harley. He shut the door and then 20 minutes later, and I was fucking brand new. Like, wasn't it?
It's so weird. Because like obviously I was more like what's up with him? Because obviously you had pushed me out of the way.
Yeah.
And then
No, I didn't like push you all the way over. I just
you're
like,
pretty aggy though.
Oh, I was.
And then we got in the house because obviously me and Josh then were the last two people to get in the house, and we were like, "What's up with Gary? Where's Gary?" And maybe it was Harley, but someone was just like, "He's lying on the floor listening to music," and we were just like, "What the fuck? What's this guy like? What's he doing?" And then 20 minutes later, like you said, it was as if nothing had happened.
Yeah, came skipping out and was like, "Hey, boys."
I think that was the day I watched Glenn eat an entire cheesecake as well.
Probably.
Wait, wasn't it with your fingers as well? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Do you remember, Kaif, in your vlog, right? There was me, you, and Simon on that couch, and everyone around the kitchen table.
Yeah.
The three of us watched Glenn eat that cheesecake, but like in between, we looked at each other like, "Is this actually fucking happening?" But no one said anything. We just mutually looked at each other, looked back at Glenn, looked back at each other, and just watched it happen, and no one said a thing. And it was just like Glenn like got up, washed his hands afterwards, and went to the toilet or something. And we still said nothing to each other afterward. We basically just mutually agreed that happened, but we weren't going to talk about it.
Yeah, an
The
entire
cheesecake's
cheesecake.
good.
Mate, I think it was the size of our head.
It was probably
And it
just
was
the
just like
you know, like the normal Tesco ones.
Yeah, the ones that come in the circular tin, yeah.
Yeah. Good
Were
stuff.
you drunk? Were you drunk, Glenn, mate?
No, it's
No.
normal day.
He wasn't fat then, was he? Like,
No.
he was like normal, like
I used to do a lot of exercise then though.
mate.
Big fit lad, wasn't he?
Yeah,
It was always with the fingers as well, Glenn.
It was proper grubby. Like, remember that? What was is it vanilla slices?
No, so I think we might have mentioned this before, but it was the one where you came down Josh's to watch Wales v Scotland,
Hmm.
and Scotland were losing, and like
Why?
you were in a proper pout. You were like pouting. Because obviously you're surrounded by us. We're like fucking way shitter and all that. And I was eating the custard slice, and then I turned to you, and I can't remember what I said, and you just
it was everywhere because I was so grumpy, and you looked at me, and I just went.
and you just burst out laughing, and I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Glenn, you've got custard on your nose," and I was like, "Oh yeah." I didn't even know.
It wasn't even nose. It was like nose, trail up forehead, spread out from mouth. This was ground zero, and the bomb had gone off. And
How do you manage that, low? Like,
because
how
he
do you...
eats it like that.
It's just
So have you had
dumping it in.
a custard slice before?
No.
They're not easy to eat without making a
What
mess.
are you talking about?
They are hard to eat because like
What,
if you
man?
eat like a sandwich when you bite like
Yeah,
it's
it all
like
spits out the
10%
side.
wafer, 10% wafer, a little
Yeah,
bit of
and
icing, and then 80%
custard's
custard,
like that.
and you bite into it and it comes out the sides. Don't know how you got it on your forehead, but like
There's an easy way to do this. You take the top wafer off, eat the top wafer, and start munching.
yeah,
the
it's not a
custard.
sandwich
Like,
anymore then, is
Nah,
it?
then what's
Oh,
the point
come
then, isn't it?
on.
You
Wait,
have,
does
runs
it
the
custard
risk.
on the other
you
one?
have to
don't-
eat it as God intended, you know?
I
He
don't know
runs
if
the
we
risk
talked
of
about.
tonguing custard and looking like a creep tonguing custard as
I-
well.
I
doesn't
don't
he?
know
I'll
if
say
we
fair,
talked
Gary. I
about
used to
that
do that.
day-
I used to like lick like along
Oh.
the custard slicer GIF
Oh.
in it on the way. I'm like,
That's a good. That might work actually.
That's really good, and then you'd be left with like the wafers closer together, and you can eat it like a sandwich.
I just used to make a mess.
Out of curiosity, right?
Yeah.
See if we bring in a cheesecake and a custard slice, can you recreate this on a podcast down the line, like how you
Oh,
ate the cheesecake?
You give me the custard slice, I'll show you exactly what he did.
Oh,
Smash it into our
you're
faces.
down the end of the month, Gary, so you could probably
Bring
recreate
one,
it.
bring one, and I'll do it. I guarantee I'll do it. It's as simple as that's it. I'll do it. I've got no
So-
problem doing that.
I don't know if we spoke about this all the way, but that's the day where me, you, and Dale went to Ponty and had food without Josh. I
I'm
don't know if you wanna
assuming.
tell-
I'm assuming
I don't
Josh
know
got
if you
really
want to tell
upset.
that story because that was quite good.
Oh,
You and Dale went for a haircut, and I tagged a lot. Sam came to meet you, so I was obviously there with Sam. We went to the pub and had a pub lunch, and then we were going to Josh's to watch the rugby. And Josh went, "Oh, do you want to order something for lunch?" And we were like, "Oh, we've just had our lunch." And then Josh and Ali had obviously like been talking to each other, kind of egging each other on. And Josh is like, "Don't bother coming, boys."
Yeah, he didn't want us to go to his house anymore.
No one had communicated. We were having lunch around, and he would have liked the invite, which fair enough. So we went to Tesco in the kind of we're going anyway, regardless of what he says. So I phoned him, was like, "What beer do you want brought? I'll bring it." And he went, "Don't bother, don't want any beer." So I got him Bud because he likes Bud, and I ignored him. We then were like, do you want to get him like a gift? It'll be a good laugh and stuff like that. So we got him a "We're sorry" card. We got him a little gift bag of like, "It's your special day," and we got him a tech deck.
I bet he loved it.
So we signed the card, they put the tech deck in the bag. We turned up to the door and he wouldn't let us in. So fucking banged on the front window. Ali let us in, and then we brought him his gifts and his bottle of Bud, and then he had a fucking smile on his face. It's like he just forgotten that he was angry because of the effort that we put in. So
That's what I love about Josh, because he will want an invite, but he will still reject it, but he still
Yeah.
wants the invite.
yeah. He wants the thought, and if you've missed that opportunity, you fucked it.
Yeah.
But here's a lesson: you piss off anyone, buy him a tech deck. Great. It's worked for Kirsty 4 times now.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait until you and Josh are on this together to hear Josh's version of the story. Like, I
Oh,
want to
he'll-
like know his thought process.
He'll
what's
see.
happening.
He'll see it. I was like, "Oh, Josh, we've been for lunch." Wee."
He'll be like, I messaged Gary in the morning, being like, "What are we doing today, boys?" I didn't get a message back. Found out they went for lunch, and I felt betrayed.
He'll pin it on me as well, despite the fact that I was at Sam, Dale, and Glenn.
Yeah, you-
You were a
Yeah.
visitor.
Yeah.
You were the least culprit, I guess.
I was the one in the car that had to be in the car. I didn't have a choice of where the car went. I just went.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that was a good one.
But can you-
The
can you
amount
imagine
of
next-
parties you must have had just keeps baffling me, because I
Oh.
remember so many parties, like, and I'm
I-
like,
I must have been in Wales like every 3 to 4 weeks when I was in Luton, and it was so good because in Luton I went to a house share that I shared with 4 other people who were all wankers. Sorry if you're listening. I played on my laptop, so I got home, cooked dinner, played laptop, went to work, got home, played made dinner, worked on my laptop. So I had no social interaction out with work. So the going to Wales was probably the only reason that I was able to stay in Luton for the year and a half that I did, because I think I had my bad times as well, like where like all the Discord drama happened, and I took it personally at that time because I was so involved with the group and everything that. And it had its ups and downs, but going to Wales was like the thing that brought me back to sanity. Like just having that group of friends so close by, like it just meant the fucking world. Like, and I got so lucky, so very, very fortunate. even to consider that I still had a group of friends after almost killing one of them on the first night I met them.
Yeah, and all it took was you to just fanboy me on WoW.
I despite showing the evidence now, I still don't think that'll ever change.
I wish in like 5 years time
I'm so
or something.
certain. I'm so certain you said
If
like,
like
let me
Kai
videos.
if Kai finds a lot of like raw footage from his WoW recordings back in the day,
There is
and
raw
there's just
footage on a
real
hard
Gary
drive somewhere.
DM, like
Dude, all the original like first year of raids are on a hard drive somewhere in this house.
I'd love it if there's a Gary DM
I
on there.
genuinely thought, looking back at the Reddit post, that it would have been something along those lines, but the fact it literally was like what we said, and I'm just like, fucking hell. I didn't just defend myself for no reason. Like, there was justification.
Okay, I got a question then, right? Jerry was talking about getting likes on these videos. How many likes does it take to release one of those raw footages on the SR VOD channel? Just so people can see.
On this video, I don't know. I don't know what likes we normally get.
Pure raw footage of our original chaos.
The problem is though, if it's from like back in the day, you'd have to watch it all before posting.
Yeah, you have to edit it.
The problem is,
like...
Rob, right? I think half the raid were people that we just randomly invited in, and they would always like say some bad shit, and we would just roll our eyes and carry on. So
And Penny was in that raid at the time as well.
yeah. So you know, I'd have to
And
watch
Joe.
for them, and I'd have to find the hard drive first.
Welsh Joe. Oh, it was a fucking.
yeah.
That was a good atmosphere, that raid. Like,
Welsh Joe.
yeah.
Who's that?
He was at
we-
Joe.
Oh,
Midget Joe.
Shildor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Midget Joe.
I liked him.
Oh, I loved him. He was a fucking good laugh. Like,
Then he had a kid, and we never saw him again. But I think the kid was an excuse. I think he just didn't want to hang out with us anymore.
Because it was Josh's
It was-
wedding, wasn't he?
it was nice seeing him at Josh's wedding. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, and Jason's dance moves.
And ripped his
And
trousers right down the
Yeah,
slack.
and the COVID I
Shut-
caught that debilitated me for 7 months.
Oh yeah.
That's 100% where I got the COVID from, by the way.
I had some like that. Remember, I had that big whooping cough for a while. I'm sure it originated from there as well. Like,
I think a lot of us got on well after that wedding, though, because me and Kate were down and out for a few weeks after it.
Yeah.
It's probably Joe B. He was going kissing everybody that night, like, you know what I mean? So he's probably fucking spreading it.
not me. So I will be bringing this up with him. Not happy. Trying to think. Oh yeah. So you were saying that party with One-Eyed Joe. That was at Josh's house. That was, like Mike was there. Like that was that the first time people meeting him.
Maybe.
I think, and Ed. And
Oh,
The
that
cuddly,
was when-
cuddly teddy bear, like.
Wait, I
Yeah,
will
it was
never
just
get
probably
over.
cheap.
That was Kife's house.
No.
That was Kife's house in, wasn't it? Because
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he wasn't there. Mike, that might have been the second time then.
No,
'cause the
Mike.
first time was
Mike
definitely-
was Josh's house the first time we met Mike.
right.
Because it's
so
the time
second
when
the
he was
first time we
telling
met
us
Ed-
he's medically 6'4".
Oh yeah, we
And then
all
we all-
measured our heights.
Yeah, remember?
And he
then
was
all-
like 5'11", wasn't he?
because
5'10", 5'11".
Josh was still doing the house, so he was like, "Fuck it," he got a pen out, and we were all like, standing up against the wall, marking our heights off.
Do you reckon he was like, right, here we go.
And I think even after it, he was like, "No, I've been measured by a doctor. They said I'm 6'4". We're like, okay.
This is like Will's measurements. Like he thinks he's 6'4" as well. Like,
Oh, that video of him like crouching under the door.
No. He said he's 5'2" because he's in a wheelchair. That's how it works, isn't it?
But you mentioned
was-
Ed though. I don't think I'd ever get over your reaction the first time you saw Ed.
Well,
we were in the
back to
car,
that-
weren't we?
Yeah, back
Would you
to
just
that
start
first
laughing
party,
at him?
though. Yeah, well, back to that first party though. That's when Dale did the flippy cup, but he did it with a full cup of vodka and lemonade, and he bashed it. He wasn't going for flips, but the lemonade and that just went everywhere. And then he was like, "Oh, there's still some left," and just tipped it onto the carpet. And that's, I think that was the night where One-Eyed Joe became like,
If he did that, he had to be really drunk then.
why? But yeah, the Kife's party. That's when Sam went to go pick up Ed or Josh, and I was in the passenger seat because he was with Mike. Mike drove him down, and we met him somewhere to bring him to Kife's
It was
house.
it was one of the T junctions, so they had stopped to give way, and we drove past, and you saw Ed and just burst out laughing And you were basically like, because he used to chat like a lot of shit.
He pissed off everyone, like, because
Yeah.
he's like
And
a
then
hardcore keyboard warrior.
You basically said, after seeing him and he's like a teddy bear, like all his points would go out the window.
Yeah, that was one of the things, right? It's like somebody would give out like all the banter online, and they were always like annoying, and like everything they said got to you, and then you meet them and you go,
yeah, and then every time after that, and you're like, this guy's doing that.
He baked us a cake too.
That was cute. Yeah, he was a cutie, wasn't he?
People pinched his cheeks at the party, like his face was fucking red.
It's the same with Matt, when Matt, little keyboard warrior. We met him, and I was like, "You're a cutie, you are. You'll never bother me again."
I've still not met Matt.
He's a cutie.
There's quite a lot of people I've not met.
I don't know if I met. I don't even. Was that they used to raid or something?
No,
Matt, you me sort of about.
Matt's in community.
Matthew, sorry.
Yeah, he visited us recently.
It's like I only met Daz at Josh's wedding.
Really?
First time I met Daz. Yeah. I'm actually like, I was glad to actually finally meet him. Like,
oh yeah, because you couldn't make.
Yeah,
like,
that's because you've abandoned us for like 3 years, though, haven't you, Gary?
Yeah. Just every time like something came up and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've got like something booked. It was like Glenn, right? When we were in Berlin and Glenn's like, oh, we want to go see this wrestling, you'll love that, it'll be good. And Kirsty's like, yeah, go do that. And Glenn's like, it's this date. And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking away. Like every date he gave me, and it's like, Glenn, like fucking Kirsty.
He can't move the wrestling, to be honest, Gary. It's like, you can't put up into me, man. Like, by the way, Gary can't make it.
No, I completely understand that, but you only ever suggested things that, like, dates that it literally just the way it worked, that everything that was suggested was on a date that, like, already something had been organized. So there was just, like, it was just shit luck. And I, like, it just been absolutely mental, like, with real life and stuff like that. But I need to try and be, like, down 2 or 3 times at the least a year and just get better at that.
I suggested to go to Edinburgh for New Year because I said you probably will never get a New Year like Edinburgh City Centre.
I don't think it's nearly as good as it used to be, Rob.
Do you think so?
I won't even be there, Robbie, but I'm in Iceland.
Oh, Iceland in New Year, that'll be good.
Yeah, they like their fireworks, so
I like their fireworks.
It's gonna be stinky. Do you know what, Gary? When we played League the other night, that was the first time I've talked to you in like a year.
No, not a year. Really?
Yeah. We don't talk anymore.
No, you're wrong. I can't even tell you're wrong that because you played Dread Hunger this year because my brother edited the video.
We did.
Because my brother turned around and said to me, we need Gary and more footage because Gary's the greatest entertainment in SR. That's what my brother said to me.
Gary's like,
see that video? He got 3 videos out of that video just to get Gary.
What a milker.
He melted so much, like.
Yeah, we played Dread Hunger a few times, but you are right.
Before then was a year.
That's not good, and we will fix that. We will. To be fair, I'd like to play.
I'm a man of results, Gary. I want a card and a tech deck, please.
Oh, I'll get you a fucking gift bag and a balloon as well. Like,
oh, let's go.
Joel, to be fair, I'm trying to think if this is the right way round or not, and I'm trying to think the origin of this as well. But do you not owe me a dinner? Or is it the other way around?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, mate. Like, you know, when you win a bet, you normally have to go get your winnings. You have to claim them. So that's on you, not me.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll be down in claim my prize.
You know, you don't win at the casino and then just walk out. You have to go get like the winnings.
Cash in your chips.
Yeah, you gotta put the chips in and take it.
Well, but you never just sat there and went, "Nah, it was me." So it sounds like I'm still owed that.
Nah, man. I think I owe you 2 dinners now. I think I've twice.
That was deceit. It was deceit, wasn't it?
I've made that bet of you twice in deceit, and I've lost both for time. To be fair, right, one of them was void because I made the bet so that you'd believe me.
Right.
Because
how's that void?
Because I said, Gary, let's make a bet that I'm not evil, full well knowing I'm evil, so that you'd believe me and I would win.
I can make a bet that you're wearing black shoes right now, and you know the answer. So
what am I wearing?
A red hat.
No, shoes. What shoes am I wearing?
Oh, white socks.
Feet. And they're dirty.
Oh.
Hey, Look, Remy went downstairs and got. Don't look at me. She got covered in mud, so my feet are now covered in mud.
But if you'd taken that bet, you would have won, and that's just the way it works. Some people are in the know, some people are not.
No, I did take the bet. I just cancelled your dinner.
Right, well, I'm still due one. I'm pretty sure.
I will take you out for dinner, Gary. I know a lot of places.
Candlelights as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, candlelit dinner, hand holding,
I thought it
everything.
And
I tell the staff it's your birthday, even it's not.
No, I'm not doing that. Oh, Glenn, you're shaking your head. Do you remember that at Frankie and Benny's?
Of course I remember it. It's fucking
Fucking
mortifying.
Frankie's and Benny's. Everything comes out of a can in there.
I remember, like, I can't remember what we were down for that time, but I was like, oh, Josh, if we're going for a Frankie and Benny's breakfast, do you want to tell him it's Glenn's birthday? I don't know why I wanted to do that, but I just wanted to do that. We did it.
You know why you want to do it, because you know I'll be embarrassed as fuck.
He ran to the toilet. He hid in the toilet the whole time. And then they stopped singing, and you came out, and you still ate your cake.
Aw. Wait, did you get free cake out of that?
Yeah, you got a brownie out of it.
They've done it to me twice.
I remember the one, because you're talking about Owen, you owe me a bottle of fucking whiskey, like, from one of Josh's party, like, 'cause...
Not quite.
Wait a minute, Gary.
No,
No.
I'm afraid you're incorrect, because notice he's gone very quiet here, but Glenn was the one that drank most of that bottle, not me.
What, the
Yeah.
Nika whiskey?
Yeah,
Yes.
Gary was the one who like pointed it out to me.
And Dangerous
you
Dave
gave
come
me-
out, is it?
Yeah.
You,
No, so
that was at Josh's flat, and that is when another story happened with like a certain large heart to heart, and
Yeah.
Glenn coming out going,
Yeah. So I don't know. We might have said it before, but basically, I hadn't drunk in like forever, and then I think I
give
bumped
you
into Gary. Gary was drinking, and I was like, "Oh, fuck it, let's get Steve in tonight." Like, so Gary takes me to the drinks. Obviously, finds your fancy whiskey or whatever it was.
Mate,
And that was
it
quite
wasn't
nice.
fancy whiskey.
No, it was
like,
just-
this is it here, right? Nika whiskey. You really got pissed on
Mate,
that. It's 51%.
If it's not Jack Daniels, it's fancy to me, all right? So we were drinking it, and then yeah, like Gary said, there was a big heart to heart of like something really serious going on.
Of like 8
in the
or 9
garden.
people.
Yeah, and then I basically went into the middle and was like, wait,
Shut,
Steven,
shut,
yes,
shut,
yeah,
shut,
basically.
shut.
And then Dale is like, and I'm like looking around, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
there's a couple of
oh.
people in tears, and like it was really heavy.
And then you were like,
Yeah.
oh, fucking hell, who died?
yeah,
and
and
walked
then
off.
I remember going inside then and just like,
yeah,
just
you
drinking
turned around and
water.
was like, oh, it's fucking boring out there.
that was the first night I met Keith though as well.
Was there?
Was it?
Yeah, because I remember walking when I was leaving, and I turned around and went, "Oh, it's kicking off out there." You just turned around and said, "Somebody's having a breakdown out there, aren't they?" I went, "Yeah." You went, "Standard for a party." Like, you just walked off. Like, I was just sitting there, like
Yeah.
somebody was out there crying, and I had no idea
I
what it was.
constantly like somebody like it was always Josh. He's like, oh, come here, come upstairs. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. And you were like, no, come upstairs, come on. I'm like, no, because I know what's gonna happen. You're gonna take me up there, close the door, and have a fucking heart to heart, and I'm gonna be like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this.
Oh, mate. I had my fucking fair share of heart to hearts. I deserved them, but fucking hell, they were something else. But Rob, that was when you were like, try this whiskey, just have a taste of it. And I was like, oh, I'm drinking it. That's really nice. Quite enjoying it. Glenn came over. I was like, try that, Glenn. Glenn just fucking walked off with a bottle. And then every now and again, before all that other stuff happened, Glenn was like, let's have a shot. Let's have a shot. I was like, Glenn, no.
Honestly, I went to look for that, and I remember just finding the empty fucking bottle. Like, and then people were saying
Rob,
Gary drank it all. Like,
Look, Glenn drank a fair bit of it, but I definitely had my fair share as well, because I went with a 6-pack of Bud. I had one, so I drank that whiskey for the whole night.
so you and Glenn on me whiskey.
I was yeah, I'll get you some whiskey. I wasn't even that pissed either, so I'm surprised that fucking happened.
Oh man.
Oh, I was, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Right.
wonder Glenn. Like,
I think it'd be really funny for like all of us to go out drinking, because
Agreed.
it would just be really, it would just be, it just go to shit.
If we did it now, though, we'd be like these fucking middle-aged men, but all these fucking
30, we're not
No, no,
middle aged.
boy,
What are you on about?
boys.
Maybe Rob
Aye,
is.
but you don't just feel old now, like, because I do.
No.
Like,
no,
No,
Gary,
not really.
There's a place near
No,
our
it's just
office,
me then.
right? There's a place near our office that's a computer game bar. and it's got like all those retro games and all that,
Oh, that's pretty
cocktails and all
The
that.
flights place is just opened in Cardiff. That's supposed to be quite good.
Gary,
that?
like, so
You-
when I was 18, they like most of the clubs we went to, it would just be filled with the the 30-year-old workers who could only go out on a weekend. So
Yeah.
you were always surrounded by people like a decade older than you. So
Right.
I don't think it'd be any different.
Don't know.
I mean, if you go to
I
Cardiff
hate to think I'm
Saturday
the
now,
oldest
It,
it's
like
like-
if you go out drinking
Most of the
in
crowd are
Cardiff,
older.
it's like it is a mix of ages everywhere
Yeah.
you go.
I just hate to think that like I'm the oldest person there. I just be like,
Just don't touch Weatherspoons, you're fine.
Gary, I've
It's
gone out
Weatherspoons,
drinking and it's like fucking 50-year-old women in a leopard print have tried to come onto me. So it's all ages.
Mate, Cardiff is wild for ages, like he is, right? You just
Oh,
like,
See, you mentioned the heart to heart. That made me think of the fucking bathtub story.
We should definitely go out and try to just do the golden mile. Where you drink a pint at every bar and you keep going until you can't go anymore.
Oh fuck it! I can't drink pints anymore since.
Yeah,
since
you'd be
lockdown,
something
like,
of equivalence,
water.
What the?
well,
Well, we might leave you behind though,
You
so-
just drink Cokes all night, and they just say they're mixers.
Yeah, or just do what you and Dale did at parties, Glenn, and just fucking make a cup of tea or something like that.
Well, no, at one of them, I got so
No,
fed up. of
one
people
of them.
egging me
There's
on.
fucking loads
No,
of
no,
them.
no.
the
This
two
is
of yous.
I used to get the bud bottles, and I'd pour the bud down the toilet, and then I'd fill it up with water.
Does Josh know you did that? Because that's
You had a wet
sacrilege,
blanket, man.
No, I got so fed. I got
smart.
so fed up of like people just being like, "Oh, you're not drinking enough. You're not drinking enough."
People
Like,
would always make
const-
Glenn drink more.
constantly because I like changed so much from my normal self. Like it's a thing to get me steaming, and because it happens so infrequently, people would always want to get me drunk. So I would just be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll drink," and I'm just drinking water from a bud bottle. Like,
I feel like if Josh knew you poured bud down the toilet, he'd know happy.
He'd
no,
be
I
fucking
would. I keep the
furious.
same bottle though, so I'd only throw one down the toilet.
To be fair, I think I did that a couple of times. Like I remember the way Ali used to mix drinks, where it was like, a
Well,
drop
that's
of
where
booze.
It was
when I
it was
drunk
a,
from
it was a
Dale.
shot of soda with alcohol.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, thanks, Ali. Whoop, whoop. It's like you could smell it. You're like, what? Because who was it? Oh, I'm trying to think who it was. There was one party where every drink she made me, I gave to someone else, and they drank it, and I was like, right, cool. That's fine. And I was like, Ali's like, you've not got a drink. And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. Got a drink. Here. Oh, you've not got a drink. There, pass it on. Like, I was like, this is fucking
Well, I mean, what I used to do, Gary, is I'd drink half the drink and then add more mixer to it.
bad idea. You still, like, have drank half of a
The very
toxic-
strong drink, yeah.
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 But I was just like, I would have a drink, then I'd have a cuppa, then I'd have a drink, then I'd have a cuppa, because I really fucking love tea.
There's a good idea. Although, how does alcohol mix with, like, hot, like tea and milk? and
I
that?
think it's the caffeine might make you a bit whack,
Yeah.
But
Sounds like-
I like tea.
Why don't you put the drink in the tea?
Oh, no, that ruins the tea, doesn't it?
Vodka and tea.
No,
Lemon
maybe
tea,
I don't know.
whiskey
Maybe you could
and
have
tea, man.
coffee and whiskey.
Mm.
That's nice.
What?
I
Why not
can't
just
believe
drink Baileys
how
and hot
popular
chocolate all
that.
night?
So in Scotland, when we come to visit you, like
The Baileys
having
and hot
having
chocolate.
coffee and shots of alcohol in it was so
Yeah.
common in most of these cafes.
Yeah. Well, remember Bailey's and hot chocolate? We fucking
Mate.
smashed that.
Oh,
I have
Oh.
that in my garage for when I make coffee. Like
When I came
I
out
put
to
that in every
Scotland,
coffee.
when I came out to Scotland to meet you, Gary, I was half cut the entire time I was there. Because every time we
we did-
went somewhere, you had the option of having coffee with alcohol, and every time I was like, yes.
Yeah, it was like fucking 11:30 having our breakfast. Like, you want a shot in your coffee?
Baileys with milk is so
Wee.
nice.
Nah,
Why
Baileys
not?
is fine, like,
Bailey's
Oh,
in
no.
coffee is banging. as
It's
well.
good.
Karaoke as well that weekend. That's how fucking bad it got. Like,
You're saying, Gary, that like we always used to have parties and then we don't anymore, but like
No.
I think that was just COVID.
I completely
Because
agree.
me,
I
yeah.
Like our office, we've only had it since what, June, and
Mm.
like we've had lots of gatherings in it already.
to be fair,
and then,
even
and
like,
then the recent one forced the podcast to be online, but like
the parties still went on in that. It's just like my attendance dropped off the fucking radar.
The thing
as
is,
well.
though, as
we
well,
did
it's
have
like,
less parties during COVID.
It
like,
wasn't
way
just
less.
like COVID is in we couldn't meet, but I mean, COVID's been like 2-3 years now, and like a lot's changed in that time, haven't it? Like people have bought houses, people have got kids. It's like fucking getting old now. Look,
he told you. That's it.
We're 30 years old. We are not
Slippery
old.
slope. Slippery slope downwards. To be fair,
If
though,
you
like,
think you're old, you're definitely old then, yeah. But like,
I'm not saying we're old. I'm saying we're getting older. Like
yeah.
The amount of memories we made in like a short time though felt like ridiculous. Like hearing you talk about like the bathtub stuff and all that, just it's so nostalgic feeling. But like,
come down again, make new memories, Gary. Let's break another bathtub.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, I never broke that bathtub. I was just the tool used to break.
Yes, your head was used to break the tub, but you didn't
they,
intentionally break it.
So they spoke about that story already, have they?
And I think he did it fair amount of justice.
Oh, okay. Did they also talk about the Dwayne Rock Johnson part of it after?
Yeah.
I'm assuming so. Okay.
And they did it all justice. I think I've got
that was my favorite part. Like
it was told, and Josh was fairly impartial and quite honest about it. I thought
that's good
because he hasn't got a leg to stand on, has he?
Nah, because he'd literally be like, "Oh, Gary pushed me," and he'd be like, no, I fucking didn't." He
just seeing Sam be like, "You destroyed my bathroom," and just being like, "You shot my Dwayne Johnson." It's just too much.
I missed all that because that's when Dale was fucking choking me up a wall, like blaming me.
Why did he choke you up a wall?
Well, because like all that nonsense happened with Josh, and Josh got himself a black eye. How did that happen? But didn't tell anyone the truth and just let anyone believe what they wanted to believe. So Dale went, "Fuck it, Gary's just punched Josh in the face." So Dale just went guilty. Went outside and was like, "What are you doing?" But just went well up the wall.
But that was the rumor that was flying around.
It was
the house because that's why I went upstairs. Because Sam's partner come down the stairs and was like, "Oh my god, Gary's punched Josh." And I was like, "What?" So I went upstairs to see what was going on.
Everyone's thinking, "Not again." And Kai's just sat there like, "It's not me this time."
I got mine. And then Gary got puss and never got into a fight ever again.
Yeah. Well, there was that other story which I don't think has been told whatsoever. And this was another one at Sam's party where it was Sam's partner's birthday that time, so there was a lot of unknown people in the mix amongst the usual faces, so to speak. And that is when I think that's when Dale found out that I was a virgin at the time and took it upon himself to try and relieve that. And there was a certain individual at the party that he apparently let known to everyone else except me that they were very interested in me for some reason. So Dale locked us in a room and tried to introduce us. And it was very awkward. And then the whole night, it was very awkward. And then a pal of that person came up and was like, "Which one of you is Gary then? Have you got a condom with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, you fucker." Like, embarrassed, scared, trying to avoid this person as much as possible. And then that was when all the other stuff that we probably shouldn't talk about got involved as well. But that was the whole evening of Sam telling me I cannot have sex in his house and Sam's partner telling me I can.
Gary, if that was my house, you could have had sex in my house.
And I appreciate that. Not that I wanted to.
I would have been like the door. I would have been like this, mate.
So you basically had Dale, right? Sam's partner and Sam all invested in the fact that Gary is going to have sex in the house.
No, I know, but your brother was involved.
Yeah, but they were
at some point, Gary,
to...
I was like, "Yeah, do it."
Yeah,
she seemed nice and she was completely into you, and you were like, "No, I can't."
That's because I was a very scared, timid little boy, Kai.
But
she would have shown you the ropes.
At no point did anyone take Gary's feelings in life.
But that's the thing, is everyone was just either team yay or team nay.
Yeah.
No one asked Gary.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And no one gave a fuck what Gary thought.
No,
all the boys are like, "He's a fucking virgin. We can't be friends with a virgin. Let's get him sorted out."
Yeah. Do you think how different some events would be if that had happened?
I think I spoke to her and she was like, "I'm totally into it. I'll lead the way. I don't give a fuck."
Yeah. Oh, I heard a lot worse after that, where it was literally she was at some point about to drag me out to the front and take me around the corner and stuff like that, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Welsh girls. It's because Gary's so hot.
I'm not saying it's because guys the hot. It just sounds like fucking hell. She was fucking randy.
Just
like.
look at me, Rob. Like
That would have been your face after she's done.
the front door would
Can you imagine?
I bet you would have cried after, Gary.
Have you seen the?
I cried.
Actually, don't worry.
Everyone does, right?
He's like 20 years of release.
Scary movie, scary. You're scary movie bit where it's like Spunk throwing the woman up in there.
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
fucking-
Well, I was gonna say, have you seen In-Betweeners where they're at like a disco and one of them is getting like bashed off up
Oh
against the wall?
yeah, fucking
And they're all
so
watching it, and they're
cringy.
like, yeah, our friend is getting like wanked off, and then like 2 minutes later, they're like, this is really awkward, isn't it? Because they're just watching
Yeah.
him.
And he's making direct eye contact, like about to
Yeah.
come.
Is that the
Oh.
film one?
No, it's one of the episodes. Though.
I think that's the later season where they go
Mm.
on a caravan trip, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it Neil? Was
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
And he's like, I'm the king of puss, and then his dad completely like
Right.
makes him look a mug.
Embarrasses him. Like.
in,
Yeah.
in the toilet where they're walking around in their socks in the piss on the floor and stuff like that.
He's
That's
like,
when Will gets his shoes chored and starts skating about the dance.
yeah, and he's also like, when you put your dick in, do you have to blow your balls in as well? And he's like, yeah, of course. You don't. And when I thought, I was like, that must hurt. I can't imagine that wouldn't hurt.
You
Or
get
putting your
stuck,
balls
right?
in as well.
Stuck.
Hi.
It could stick because it could cause a suction.
Yeah,
If
if
your
they
balls
swell,
go in,
if they
like-
swell when they're in there, you're fucked.
They birth
Yeah.
babies out of there. You can get your
No, but
fucking balls
Keith,
out.
Keith, one of me Kate's friends got these fucking ball things she puts in her cell, right? And she one time
Fucking
got them
hell, Rob.
stuck. And it took her like a 10 minutes seemingly to get them out. And her and her partner were yanking on them with rubber. So one of them was stuck and one of them was out, and they could not get the ball out because of the suction. Like, so I'm not fucking
Imagine,
doubting.
right, this is not to scale, okay, obviously. This is a ball, right? So 2 ball, right? This is the hole. So ball magically gets through, but how are you supposed to get 2 ball out?
Just pull back.
That's the hole, right? That's the ball.
Right.
The balls are bigger than the hole.
Right.
So how'd you get the ball out?
Is it, Rob? Was it
Well, if it
balls?
went in,
Was it
it'll come
balls
out,
on a
right?
rope, or was it just balls?
Just
Well, I'm
balls and
talking about your
a
balls,
rubber
Keith,
bit,
like-
mate. It was like a rubber with a bit of string. I think she was saying like there were 2 balls, like.
Yeah, you just pull the string.
Well, but then what if they get stuck? I mean, I've heard so many bad stories about people putting snooker balls up their cell and getting them lost. I don't know how you can lose a snooker ball.
Unfortunately,
Talking to, or what are you
unfortunately,
reading?
they would have to push, and that's the only way you're gonna get
How
out.
did we get onto this tangent?
Yeah.
Rob.
No,
No, actually, that wasn't-
mentioned in between.
Okay, all right. I said, putting your balls in, like they're not gonna get stuck.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah.
not gonna get stuck. And
Yeah, then
You-
Rob's like,
you have
I know a
great-
person who did this.
you have great leverage on your balls to get them out because they are attached to you. You know.
Makes the thought though, man. I'm actually holding my balls right now, thinking about them getting stuck inside a woman's hole. Like,
I did not need to know that you are caressing your balls.
Yeah.
I can see his arm moving now.
no, oh my god, man.
Fucking hell.
It's
that
all
was a
awkward, isn't it?
tangent,
Like, you all remember your first time having sex. I mean, Glenn was his hand for the rest of his life, like, but I mean,
Mine wasn't that
Wait.
long ago.
Yeah, Gary, how old were you?
24, 25.
It's not bad.
Yeah, surprised I held on. To be fair, I thought I'd die at 30, so we're doing well.
It was 16 for me.
17, I
16,
think.
fucking hell.
I was 17, but I got up in Glasgow. They're all sluts, like.
Okay.
You were
Glenn's been quiet here. Glenn, what age were you like?
Okay, if you born in 1992, is it?
91.
91.
Yeah.
You were having sex when I was 13.
Well, that just that just makes it so weird.
That's mental.
Why you say
It's just putting into perspective, like just all these different things happen. I think I was building Lego probably when you were getting your balls.
That's crazy. You were 13 when I was having sex. I was
Yeah.
16. That's mental, isn't it? That's
That's
fuck.
mental.
Oh, it's mental how ages work, you know.
You were 20. You were 28 or 27 when I was.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just all this comparison. Eh? It's like when you were doing that podcast and Rob called and was like, "Remember this one back when I was a kid?" But that was back when I wasn't even a fucking speck in my mum's eye.
I keep forgetting how young you actually are, like.
You might have been a sperm at the time, Gary.
I could have been. I could have just been a wee swimmer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
just
technically,
swimming about.
you were a sperm and an egg somewhere else. There were two
What,
Garys
so
in the world. You were,
I was in 2 different places. At
yeah,
once,
you
so
are
I-
half a
yeah.
Gary in 2 different places.
I've traveled the world. I have.
Yeah, most of Edinburgh.
Oh, I got about.
And you came together and you became whole again.
Yeah, worst mistake I ever made.
Was it your mistake? Oh, to be
Yeah,
fair,
I
you
did
did
not-
have to swim.
I didn't have to swim up. I should have swam backwards.
Yeah,
should
true.
let someone else win. But you know me, hey, always going for that gold medal.
That's what they say, you know, like, if you're ever thinking about how much of a disappointment you are, you won something in your life at least.
this is true.
To be fair,
Oh,
isn't there like, there are some sperms that actually break through the egg and then they can't keep going anymore, and some other guy's like, ooh, this is mine now.
Well, swoops in like.
So you're saying I'm second place?
You might have been.
Well, there's also that if this is probably very detailed, but if the father had a wank beforehand, I could have been sitting right at the tip waiting to get in the next time it come around. So I could have got a head start.
He's like, I'm ready, boys.
I cheated.
True. I think you would have died long before then.
No. Apparently that's the thing.
Well,
Apparently that like it, potentially if you like have a wank, there's like sperm right at the start waiting. So like if there could be some sort of interaction where like there's no actual penetration or anything, but the sperm could go in and the lady could get pregnant.
Ah,
Apparently,
facts with Gary.
it's all hearsay. I've got a willy. I don't know anything.
Fair enough.
No, I do have a willy. Still there. Rob, you look. Your mouth is.
I don't know what. Like, I'm usually the one that talks a lot of pish me, but I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Like,
Must be a
Rob,
Scottish
I-
thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been speaking pish since the day I was born. Like,
was that not being Scottish? Like, we're a better nation, aren't we? Like,
each to their own. I say
vented most of the world's good stuff. Like, you know,
the fridge,
the light bulb,
golf,
the television,
Starting to get a bit harder, isn't it?
the phone.
mm,
We didn't
Did
invent the
we?
phone. Alexander Graham Bell.
I think he stole the plans for
No,
this
no.
phone.
Edison stole everybody's plans. Mate. Edison stole all the
Okay.
fucking plans and improved on them. You
And
know?
then rewrote history.
Yeah, like he invented it, where he basically just stole people's ideas. Like,
We invented condoms.
That's smart.
Mm.
Off a
Sheep
sheepskin,
do
innit?
we really?
Yeah, we invented the condom, and then the English, you know, took it out of the sheep afterwards.
Yeah.
oh,
Grim. That's because at some point the Welsh were like, we need to stop impregnating these sheep. Like,
Oh, I don't think you can't though. You can't impregnate.
did
a
the
sheep.
Welsh used to shag sheep though? Why? Where does that rumor come from? Like sheep shag? It's got to come from somewhere.
keeping
It's
warm.
It's just
innit?
because there's a lot of sheep. It's the
It-
same
There's a
thing
lot,
they
of sheep,
say.
there's a lot of
to
sheep in Scotland, mate. We don't call each other.
The Scottish people get called sheep shaggers too. Yeah.
Just Aberdeen.
Aberdeen do. Yeah.
I
It's
think
the
I think
same
it's
in,
just
like,
like
New
how
Zealand
many
and
like
stuff.
sheep farmers there are.
Yeah.
Herders.
I can imagine in the 1600s they were getting pussy. Like they'd probably be like, that sheep looks a bit tasty, like, you know. So I could see maybe why the sheep shaggers were invented.
Aye.
Like,
You were shagging them and we were mincing up their guts and eating it. It's very, very
Ah.
different thinking. Like, to think we could have
Think
potentially
about what
had
you were eating.
sheep
Like.
There's
that
a little
used
bit
it
of Welsh in
inside.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You could have been inside a sheep that we minced up and ate.
for haggis, mate. Like that's what the special fucking flavour in haggis
Special
is like.
sauce.
It's not whiskey cream sauce. It's not
Welsh
with.
Wait, Rob, didn't you make haggis for everyone once?
I did.
I didn't get
Haggis
to eat it.
burgers. Here's the thing. I was going to say to Gary,
That
right?
was the barbecue
should come-
house.
you should
Me
come
and
down
Rob
for a buzz,
barbecuing
mate.
at your house.
We should do a
Wait, and I
buzz
didn't
night
eat
for
it.
SR guys.
We barbecued haggis burgers at your house, and I had to force feed Stan because he was looking a little bit steaming. Like,
I just want everyone to know that when SR went to Josh's house, they looked after it. You know that, other than maybe like when there was hot dogs hidden behind stuff one time.
Dale did not look after Josh's house.
And Sam's house was pretty looked after, and then you had a
Apart from the
party.
broken bath.
Then you had a party at my house,
Oh, it was.
and you filled the entire house with charcoal, sticky floors. You broke some of my stuff. The
Hey,
difference
I
between the
spent-
house, the party at your Josh's house and my house was leaps and bounds. It's like we respect Josh, but maybe not Kat. If my house
I
was
stayed up ages
destroyed,
cleaning the kitchen in your house when that
I'd like
happened.
to point out.
yeah,
I
Rob,
did not drink
Rob,
that.
you left frozen strawberries on the surfaces, right? So when they defrosted fully, like strawberry juice went everywhere between the cracks of the surfaces,
hell.
and there was just unfinished daiquiris everywhere. The blender just made a mess fucking everywhere as well. It was on the walls
They
and
were
shit.
good daiquiris, though, mate. They were good daiquiris.
My house stunk of smoke for weeks.
I drank nothing that party because I just cooked all evening long.
Yeah.
Mate, I've got
just-
pictures of you. There's
my
one of you
job.
holding a bottle of Bud Light, and I think you've used it as a profile picture for
Yeah.
ages, like,
Got you there, Gary.
That was my Tinder picture that swooned Kirsty in with a sunglass.
oh, man.
Was that not the night we
Yeah,
raced
2
as well,
seconds.
Rob?
That was, what was it, night?
The
yeah,
night
that,
you raced.
no, the daiquiri one wasn't it? It was the very
I
first
wasn't
one.
there. No, the barbecue wasn't
So
the daiquiri.
there was
I
a
never
there was a
made it to the
housewarming
daiquiri
one, and
night.
then there was
the
was one after
barbecue
that.
one, because we trash Kate's back garden with melted stuff all over the place.
Was it Lucas and
So Paney
Probably
made
Lucas
Paney
and
made
Paney.
s'mores,
Paney.
right? And I don't know what he made of them, but they must have been made of cement, right? Because he would put the
Molten
s'mores on a spoon, and he'd go, "Guys, watch this!" Bang against the floor, and
Fucking hell.
they were so stuck to the floor that it required a power washer to get rid of it.
Jesus.
Yeah,
It was just
My-
what fucking marshmallows were they like?
Yeah,
I
the
said
question is-
cement, didn't it?
Oh Jesus! Imagine
What-
eating that.
What was your recollection of this fucking race, by the way? Because I
Mine.
seemingly I kept getting details wrong in this race, and Glenn kept having to
So
fill me in. Like,
so it started off early in the evening, where I don't know why, but you said, "I bet you I could beat you in a race," and I was like, "Right, cool, Rob, whatever." And then the more it went on, the more I kind of was like, "I could see that happening. Like this could be fun. We could try this." And then at a certain point, you just dragged me out, and then you were like, you took a few other people out. I can't remember who was there, but you needed obviously someone to officiate it.
Josh,
Yeah, it was me
Yeah,
and
but-
Josh.
Yeah, but Glenn went to the finish line and Josh was at the start. And you proper tried typing yourself up, like you were bouncing about and you were like, and then you took your top off and you were proper like, oh, like hyping yourself up. And then like I remember standing there where Josh's foot was, and you went down into like the proper running pose, like knee down, hands up, and I just stood there. I was like, looked at Josh, was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like he's just pissing himself laughing. And he was like, right. I'm gonna count you down. And I was like, right, cool. And I turned to you and said, good luck. And you went, you'll need it. And I went, okay. And you went 3, 2, 1, go. I went off reasonable pace. And then you were to my left, but you leant forward. And then as you leant forward, you leant more and more forward. And then in the corner of my eye, while I was turning, I saw you grind into the floor. Did I stop? Did I fuck? I won that race.
But I remember looking up, right? I remember looking up, and this was you. You were like, no, and Josh was like, oh, like this, and I was just
Well,
like,
I remember being bent over at the finish line though, because I had to finish the race first, otherwise it would have been DQ. I can't have that.
I remember
But I also
laughing on the
remember
ground, like,
laughing at you. In my head now, it would have been like, oh, help Rob up. But I went straight inside and went, everyone, Rob's fucking nailed it. He stacked it outside. Come have a look. Everyone's like, what are you on about? What are you on about? And then everyone came outside and you're sat there like scabbed up on your belly and your arms. And then it went quiet. Everyone's laughing. And it was, I've broken my watch.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember at the time, like, as I guess you were full of adrenaline and that, so you weren't in much pain.
I
But you were
wasn't,
more
no.
concerned about your watch.
I was not in pain. What I remember. Do you know what people always ask that story, right? I can remember falling in slow motion. I can
Oh, yeah,
remember
I
doing
remember
it. I
seeing
was
it in
like
slow
doing
motion.
that, like going
I
like
feel like I
Superman.
can, in my head, hear the.
I honestly,
You must
I
have
remember
ached the next
laughing.
day, though.
I remember laughing on the ground. I remember laughing
Yeah.
on the ground.
I obviously like laugh a lot, and like when I laugh, I get like breathy and like
Wheezy.
yeah. But that I remember I was like, "Oh, you fucker, my stomach is so sore." Like actually bent over, like I couldn't catch my breath, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't fucking breathe." This.
Do you know what I think about that race now? Right? Do you know Keith had about hundreds of houses around him? Like it was quite a small
cars
street,
everywhere as well.
and I was shouting. I can still imagine
someone
somebody
probably
looking
saw
out the
you.
window. Yeah.
And seeing a
No,
grown
imagine
man fall.
Someone was like, "Here, Roger, there's some fucking guy about to race at this. Oh, he's fucking sick."
Oh.
I also remember your brother picked you up that night. And then I remember going up to him and was like, "By the way, he's fallen over. He's cut quite badly, so they'll need to be cleaned." And he just lifted your shirt and went, "Oh, for fuck's sake, bro." It just reignited every like laughter that was had that night because you went, "What?"
Do you remember Sam's ex came out with fucking Dettol to try clean all the windows? You remember that?
No.
She's at the door. She's like, "I've got the Dettol ready." I'm like, right? I don't need.
What, like worktop cleaner?
Yeah, because Dettol can be used to clean windows because
Antibiotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or is it antiseptic, whatever.
Before I get the piss taken out, now your other recollection of the story we told on stream that Glenn went in a huff when you threw him off the chair.
At your house.
Yes.
That was your house.
The Smash Brothers tournament.
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah, we were all sat at the couch at your window. There was me, Dale, Sam, and Glenn was like, "Oh no, sorry." Dale and Sam went, "Oh, Gary, go up and get us a drink." So I was like, "All right, keep our seat." Went up, 3 cans, came back. Glenn's in my seat. I was only drinking Iron Brew that day as well, so I wasn't even alcoholic beverages or anything. Wasn't partaking. I just grabbed his ankles, pulled them off, yanked them off.
Straight on my ass, like.
Yeah, yanked them off. There wasn't a lot of effort involved, I feel like. We all had a wee giggle. Glenn giggled, I giggled, we all giggled, had a giggle. And then I sat down, sat in my seat, and he walked out the door to the front door. And then he disappeared. 5 minutes went past, and Dale was like, "Oh, I think you've upset him. You should probably go see him." And I was like, "Okay." Went out. He sat on the step looking at his phone. I was like, "Glenn,
so all this bit, it was far more annoying than you actually pulling me off the chair."
Well, yeah, for sure. Because it was like, it started off with, "Glenn, are you okay?" To, "Yeah, but," and I went, "Glenn."
It's like, if you're annoyed, right? And someone keeps going, "Are you annoyed? Are you annoyed? What have I done? Are you annoyed? Are you annoyed?" That starts getting annoying, and then you get annoyed.
Yeah. So then I was like, "I'm not going to let you sit here and get annoyed." So I started dragging him from the stairs back into the room to get him back involved with the boys. And he was laughing while he was getting dragged. And I just went, "Oh, I've done my job," and went and sat down. He was laughing again. So I was like, there we go. He's fine.
I enjoyed that. Like, that was fucking
good. And that also leads on to the old that LAN party as well, Glenn.
Oh, that was so good.
Where a good lot of us, because you were there, Kaif, Lucas was there. You were playing the PlayStation and that.
Yeah, and the Crash Bandicoot remake had come out.
Yeah, and it just come out as well. Fucking hell. Because Simon was there, Dale was there, Sam was there.
When
I
was
was there.
Just look up the date of the Crash Bandicoot remake.
Because we were.
I'm actually typing it out.
We were playing Fortnite, as I think was like the game.
Battle Pass.
I just shit a man.
Josh was obsessed. Josh was obsessed with Fortnite. Like,
we all were, to be fair. That was around the time where I leveled my battle pass. I leveled Lil's battle pass. I leveled another battle pass I had, and then I started leveling.
Cheering, ban him.
Like if Lil ever played Fortnite again and was like, "Oh, Lil, how the fuck have you got John Wick?" That was me.
Fair.
There's no way she was getting that on her own. But that was like prime Fortnite time. And I seem to recall when the story was retold, Glenn, that loads of pictures were taken and that. I took one picture of you and then Sam took over the whole time.
I can believe that.
I was innocente. Well, as innocent as you can be of taking a picture of your sleeping pal.
It was probably more you took a photo. Glenn was like, "Don't fucking take photos of me. That really annoys me." And then Sam was like, "Right, I will go out of my way to annoy Glenn now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't think it was really because I think it was said it was me that did all like the thing afterwards. But when you were packing up, Sam was like, "Glenn."
Yeah, he was the one who was asking,
Glenn.
like, "Are you okay or whatever?"
Whereas I was just like, "Fucking let the
Yeah.
boy be." Like, I've done that. I've been there, and I'm not doing it again. Oh,
It's
it
just
was
the
fucking
just
great.
how long it took me to pack up, and then I'm just midway, and I'm just like, I'm over this now, but commit to the cause, innit?
Yeah, you can't go. I'm not annoyed anymore. I'm gonna reset my PC back up.
Yeah.
To be fair though, I think like although those are real life situations, some of us have had like, those moments with games and stuff like that, haven't we?
No, I don't think I've ever.
Oh,
I don't think
know,
I've ever
you
quit a
don't seem
game
like
and.
that type of person, but I definitely am that type of person. The amount of times raid where I just sit muted, fucking fuming.
Yeah, I've had instances where like I've got so annoyed, I'm like, I'm just not gonna talk. I'll just see it through to the end, but I'll never like outright leave mid game.
Well, I've definitely done that. I remember I went AFK because I went for a walk and
Yeah,
I came back. Yeah, it was a good walk. Nice
was that
walk.
WoW? Was it?
Yeah, it was wow. Oh, it was.
We used to do a lot for a while though, because I remember you used to do the viewer raids. Remember that on a Wednesday? You used to run the viewer raids where that's when I first started raiding, really, because you did like
those nights were fucking ropey. There was one guy, because that was when you were doing them as well, Kaif.
Yeah.
He talked about what was it, breaking a pigeon's neck. What was his name?
I can't remember. Shit. But he was
had that really
I break the
distinctive-
pigeon's net and I spit in his mouth.
Yeah. The demon hunter. Oh fuck! What was his name?
I am something. I don't know.
Oh, I feel like Lucas might know, or it's in a video somewhere where we've
I could
mentioned his
DM
name.
Lucas. I'll DM Lucas now and see if he gets back to me.
But that guy, like, all of us, like, having a laugh, and he said something like, we're all on different computers, we can't see each other, but you could just tell if we're in the same room, we'd be looking at each other like, what the fuck is this? There were some good nights, there were some fucking weird nights as well. To be fair, we've had so many good fucking laughs and nights, like.
Not so much lately, Gary.
No, you're right, but I will fix this.
I
know
people like constantly comment going like, "Oh, when did Gary leave SR?" And I'm like, "Fucking hell, he has a life, mate."
Well, what was there was a thing on Reddit recently, wasn't there? Like,
yeah, where's Gary gone?
What? I'm one of the what happened to this person. I was like, oh fuck.
They said what happened to Gary, and I was like, "Oh, mate, he carried me in league, and I had to live with that for the rest of my life."
I don't think a lot of people see that you
in
play a lot of games offline with people, if you know what I mean. I think people actually see that, you know.
But I feel like people stream the raids of WoW, and I think I'm there.
It's one of those things they're like, yeah, oh, in Kai streams, so he
Kai
doesn't
isn't
exist.
there though, is he?
I don't play WoW.
Yeah.
WoW's crock of shit. Like every time I'm like, oh, I might let's see how Blizzard's doing. Do I feel like I could go back to a Blizzard
They've
game?
done something really stupid.
And there's another sexual harassment lawsuit, and you're like, oh, it's probably never gonna go back.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
See, Gary, I think you'd like West Hunt, mate. I think you'd actually like playing West Hunt.
I think you'd like West Hunt.
Yeah, I think you'd. Like
It's like Gmod. I think people compare it to Gmod Guess Who. So you just fit in with a load of NPCs, try to finish your tasks, while the sheriffs go around trying to figure out who's the outlaw, and then shoot them. And if you get it wrong, you're out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. We have literally played it like every week for like the straight for like 2 months now.
The only thing is, you stream at 5 o'clock now. The way.
Yeah.
Where,
I never took you into consideration because you don't join anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I don't really get like home and fed until about like 7 o'clock's like probably the earliest. But a weekend,
We could do a weekend.
I would be well up for that. I'd also like to try Worms again. I'd also like to play fucking Vermintide.
Vermintide PvP.
PvP, obviously.
We haven't tried.
It's coming.
We played
We haven't
Darktide
tried
recently.
the 40k one.
No,
Oh, did you try it?
I played it.
Oh, okay.
How is it?
It's alright.
Oh.
It's like Vermintide a bit. You know, they have all like the stuff that grabs you and shit like that. But it's interesting.
Is it just a bit like too much? compared to like medievally and that sort of thing.
when you
That was my biggest worry.
Yeah, when you played Vermintide, it was very you had like day and night, didn't you, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of color variation. But when in 40K, it was black and green. Everything was black and green. It was dark, as dingy. That is 40K in general, but it was depressing to play.
The thing with Vermintide as well, it's like swords, axes, bows, a bit of magic. Whereas this, I feel like it'd be like too much because there's a lot of shit.
Yeah, this is like chain swords. You don't get them for a while, but you have like swords, axes. Then you have like 4 different classes where one uses it's like a long range rifle. Another guy uses the big beefy guy uses like a shotgun type thing, and the other 2, I don't know, the other kind of shit like SMG kind of stuff.
Right.
And it was okay. It's still very gory like the last games.
That's good.
But yeah,
last week.
it was alright. I'll have to see what it's like when it comes out. I wasn't totally blown away, but maybe I am a bit bored of those type of games now. So
Yeah.
Have you actually played Chaos Waste? The Chaos Waste update on Vermintide.
nah.
No. And the Back for Blood was a fucking disappointment as well, wasn't it? Which is
Yeah.
a shame because I was
I
really
enjoyed
looking
it for a
forward
bit,
to that.
like.
Yeah, but then it was just like
There's just so many
it
like
had
cracks,
nothing
wasn't
to
it?
nothing to keep you going. And then what was it? They had that big level with the copyrighted music and
Yeah, I mean, they should have released it with Versus, a proper actual fun Versus, because that's what we wanted to play it for, right?
yeah,
And then they were like, "Oh yeah, we released Versus," and we played it, and it was wave survival, and like the longest you could live was like a minute and a half.
yeah, because it was so easy to win as the infected. Like
Yeah.
you just could not survive. Oh, do you know what I'd like to play again? Remember Crawl? That
Oh, people keep asking about that
co-op
every
game?
now and then.
I had such a fucking blast playing that game. It was a pain in the arse to get working, but it was fucking good.
American.
Working. Just spamming it over and over again.
Yeah, it's good.
There was another game as well I fancied playing, but I can't remember what it was. Going down like my Steam list, but I'd like. Yeah, I'll try your Westworld. I'd be up for that.
I don't.
It's
Does that know what it's called?
It's West Hunt.
West Hunt.
Oh right.
It's really funny. It's just that I think it's an indie game made by one guy, and he uses I think it's called like the Synapse asset pack, which is basically aggro.
Okay.
You know those dudes.
Yeah.
So it's just funny.
Have you ever played Duck Game?
Yeah, it was very very crazy. I couldn't really tell what was going on.
There's that, and I think it's like don't move or don't stop or don't to these like party games and stuff. There's so.
Oh,
much
I think I know the game you're on about. Hold on, because we were gonna play it on Sunday. Let me find a name for it.
I feel like it's like don't move or
Don't move or
Do you
die.
know
or
we haven't
something.
played in
Yeah.
ages?
that sounds like don't move or die or move. Is it move or die or?
Oh no, I'm thinking of Don't Look Away.
What
We
were
haven't
saying,
played
Tim?
Mario Party in ages.
Oh.
Yeah, but Gary always
we're
wins.
here. We're here.
That's
as
what I mean.
four.
This is the 4 of us, right?
You can't beat Gary. The game just gives it to him.
We never finished that.
The Mario game.
The
too.
Mario, mate.
There's
Yeah.
one eye.
That was the most rage-inducing game I've ever fucking played.
You would
man.
have like 3 stars. Gary would have 0, and the game would go, player who moved the least, Gary. Player whose name is Gary, Gary. And then before you know it, Gary's on 3 stars. Didn't get to buy any stars because he had 100 coins. So he goes, player with the most money, Gary.
Well, what was that other one as well? Where the we were on like the 4 different islands, and I moved, got a star, then like used the teleporter, got a star, and the star moved right behind where I got the star, and I got 3 stars in like 1 turn.
I know the one you talk about. It's like the beach, and you
Yeah.
can go over the bridge and all that.
Wasn't it one where you walked on a Bowser square where you're supposed to lose and you actually gained a star?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I stole someone else's star. Do you remember the last one we played of that was when Rob stopped?
That was when you quit. I mean, you didn't leave, but you muted on us.
Oh, mate,
he
you
tried
can-
to stream about like oh,
Because
these
he
guys
was
are
when
Nobody can tilt me like Gary can tilt me by
we started the Princess Assault.
It was like Glenn when he was like, it's the end of round, Rob's on 0 coins, and Glenn
Yeah.
goes, oh, Rob, fucking a lot of coins you got from that then. And then Gary went, what coins? And Glenn went, exactly.
One of my most watched clips is when I throw the Switch control and you can hear laughing going,
You've got
you whipped to my tube!
You've got 3 guys in your team, and Glenn's got one. He's button mashed you, and you went, "Oh fuck's sake, man!"
he cut himself doing it. I left him beside it. He was doing it so hard that he rubbed the skin off his finger. Like,
because me and Kai were fighting each other. We had no idea what happened. We just heard this in the background. Oh, do you remember after we played Mario Party as well, Kai, when we played Mario Golf, and you told me, "Oh, you can't play this character because it's fucking sweaty tryhard."
There was some in golf. Like, I can't remember what characters they were, but like,
boo.
Their super, their super was just insane.
Remember the Mario as well. Remember we never completed it, but we did Mario. With the four of us.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Made me rage quit that basically as well because I kept.
That was basically me and Gary
winning every level,
winning everything, and you guys
you
just
had the
being
good characters, man.
Oh, you complaining about Luigi?
Luigi's so bad. Luigi's so bad.
oh my god, Luigi, you let me down.
There's still those stats on the Reddit every time we've done it.
There was a Reddit post with like number of deaths, number of levels completed. It was like you and Glenn, all these deaths, no levels completed.
But did you see the stats when me and Glenn switched from Luigi to Peach? I think it was. The guy goes, interesting enough, when Glenn went Luigi, he died more than Rob when he was Peach. Like, so the stats did justify it. Like,
inconclusive.
That's because Luigi's bad.
Luigi's bad. He can't even jump.
Kicking me. Cave kept kicking me every time I tried to pick a different character to make me even more fucking angry. You can't have Mario, mate. Bye. He kept kicking me from the lobby.
I found the game, by the way. It's called Move or Die. I've put a link. It's a good laugh. Like, definitely.
I found the what's that stupid class in WoW called?
Monk? Definitely.
The ones with the fucking swords and they rush and shit.
Rogue.
Fury? Demon Hunter. Sorry.
Oh.
the stupid edgelords. The guy's
5
name.
5 seconds before I dashed.
Yeah. The guy's name is I Can't See Stuff.
That's it. Oh my god.
I break the pigeon's neck and I spit in his mouth. It's how I feed my pigeon water.
Has anyone licked your tongue's dog before?
I mean, it was like after that raid, we were like, he's got to go, isn't he?
Yeah, he can't stay.
He can't stay.
He can't be here no more. We should finish that Mario game. Even if we never touch Mario Party.
Every time Glenn's like, "You want to play this Mario game?" and I just go, "Oh."
No, it's Mario Party that I really wanna.
I
really want to play again.
I'm like, it's not worth it for the views.
I was telling the guys, right, I love crowd control. They're making like a crowd control version of Mario Party where the viewers can steal the stars off people.
Oh, I'd be all for that. I'd be all for that.
I'd like that.
Because I'd be like, because I'm like, they're gonna fuck me. I don't give a fuck. I'll do whatever.
Yeah, but why don't you just think that when I'm playing Mario Party with you? Like,
I do, Gary. I do. We play Mario Party, and I go, Gary, you're going to win, and you go, I'm not gonna win, and then you win.
Well, you should look at if you want to do something soon, you should look at an emulator version. I heard the GameCube ones are pretty good, if you know what I mean, like to play.
What, you mean they're balanced?
What is this move or die then?
Move or die. It's just like party games, but basically there's loads of different little mini games, but all of them has the same rule is that you have to keep
that reminds
moving
me that reminds me of a game that I linked to you guys before, but it wasn't 2D, it was 3D. But that looks weird.
There's basically all these like there's loads of mini games, right? Where there's like tag and like beat the boss and dodge stuff, but basically the every game you can't stop moving, otherwise you'll die. And it's basically like last to survive wins a point. You win more points, like you win that kind of round of games, and there's like 8 rounds or something. That is, nice. It's really good. And the more you play it, you unlock more levels, you unlock more power ups, and it just like it's really good.
Is it a 4-player or 8-player?
Four.
A game I really want to play is Splatoon.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play that.
I never played it.
And me neither. I always see it. I'm like, that's weird. I want to play that.
Sure,
you
that
do
would
have
be
to
good
deal
that'd
with
be good
Nintendo Online services, though.
We need to do that with doing individual games, like.
Huh?
For Splatoon, probably.
Can you do custom?
Unless you did like couch co-op.
Because that'd be quite good.
I don't know. I've always looked at it and gone, oh, it's fun. And then I go, it's Nintendo. Can't be asked to get my Switch out.
Yeah.
That's it. Shouldn't it set up your bloody capture card? No, I can't be
2 to 8
Yeah.
players, so potentially you could play against your pals.
But then you have to use Nintendo Online and you have to hope you can get them in. Like, we had so much
Yeah.
difficulties with the fucking Mario games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did though.
Was it the golf? Like, I think it was Glenn always used to get disconnected from Mario Golf.
That's because he's cheating though. He's like got some hacks or something.
I think he
Caught
was.
him out.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, of course,
it was
a
as well.
cheater would catch another cheater. So Mario
Fucking
Party.
hell,
He's got the Mario Party cheats.
I've got my scripts.
He's been
remember
slipping
Smash
Birdo
Bros.
a bit of dick, like, and he.
I told you my mum works for Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
true,
fuck.
true.
What-
And
what do you want me to
Microsoft
do?
and Blizzard.
No, my dad works for Blizzard.
Okay.
My auntie works for Microsoft. My uncle is Bill Gates.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for your loss.
That's
It's a
okay.
shame.
He left a lot.
Bit of a twat.
Fucking hell.
He left us so much.
Let's ask what the viewers will probably ask as well for you, Gary. Are you going to come back to streaming at any point?
I want to, yeah.
Abandon work, become a streamer.
No, I don't think I could do that. The career's going well, so I'd always stick with that. But I've tried playing Darkest Dungeon and XCOM. Those were the games, like the strategy games I could name people and stuff. I've tried playing them on my own. Not nearly as fun as having that.
So you streamed quite a lot of Darkest Dungeon, didn't you?
And XCOM, yeah.
Oh,
'Cause,
Gary,
like,
there's like so many games that you can play that have like Twitch integration, and they're really fun.
Yeah, Kill with a
Yeah.
Lamb.
You would have loved,
your
you would have loved Cult of the Lamb.
thing. Yeah, it looks sick.
It was really fun.
I watch all your videos.
I know, Gary. You told me when you joined.
Oh fuck!
There was only three.
DMs.
There was only three at the time, but you watched them all.
Shit. That does look good, but I'll be honest, like I don't know, like I'm not good at them, but I've always loved XCOM and Darkest Dungeon. Like I've never completed Darkest Dungeon,
Ah, you don't have to be.
and I completed XCOM once, and that was a fucking like almost a year's worth of struggling. Like I remember like just naming viewers into it and feeling like they died, and I was like, I actually could cry. Like genuinely, I think Tier. Like he was a character leveled up a fair bit, and on the last level he got charmed or something, so he started killing all my guys. And because I'd made him super strong, he just didn't give a fuck. He killed everyone. And I was like, I'm on the last level. I have to just kill this one person, and I'm gonna wipe and lose. And I was like, I don't think I could ever play a computer game ever again if this happens. And then some miracle happened. The game finished, but I was like I just felt like I'd actually been through like a real life event, like stressed.
Do you
and I
remember?
love it.
Do you remember the ending of XCOM 1?
No,
You did beat it, right?
I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I beat it, but I don't remember the ending at all.
You had to make a sacrifice.
Did I not beat it?
Spoilers.
I could have sworn I beat it.
You had to sacrifice somebody who had psyops in order to take the ship into space to explode because it was going to detonate. God, I hope that's not XCOM 2.
It's ruined now. Like,
No.
I'll look it up. I'm pretty sure that's the
Wait.
ending.
Oh wait, I've not played XCOM 1. It's XCOM 2 I was playing a lot of. Would that be why I don't recognize that ending?
now you know the end. XCOM 1, like.
Well, now I'm questioning, did I even finish it? I'm sitting here like, oh, I didn't wipe at the end. Maybe I did, and I don't remember. But to answer your question, I'd love to. I think what I'd maybe like to do is maybe just speak to Kirsty and be like, oh, can I have like the odd every second Saturday afternoon and just play some XCOM or Darkest Dungeon again? Because I miss those games, and I could only enjoy those games with streaming it, I think.
See, honestly, you should do Kill with the Lamb as well.
I should try that. I really like got in my head with streaming where like I had to like mentally build myself up to do it, and then I ended up talking myself out of it just because like I was like, I don't know, it felt like I was like really nervous and anxious about doing it. Like my hands started shaking before I clicked like go live and stuff, and I was like, "Why am I doing this?" Like,
I think the more you do it though, like, but I really like that. The more you do it, it's one of those things it just disappears. I think because Glenn,
For
I think
sure.
you always talk about sometimes you get like that, don't you? A little bit when you're streaming, where you like, oh, I don't know what to turn it on today or whatnot, like you know. But do you know what's astounding about your streaming is you're probably out with Kaif, obviously. I've never seen MD get partnered as fast as you did in SR. Didn't you literally get it in the first couple of months of streaming, like get like Twitch partner?
I don't know.
Can't even.
I got rejected the first time.
I remember you got it super fast, like man. I just remember like you started streaming like a couple of months later. It felt like you'd got partner, like
it was pretty quick, that's for sure.
Because everybody went through several rejections. Like I think Glenn never, because at the time
I got rejected the first time. I'm pretty sure it's because when Josh was like, "Oh, you need to type out this big like description," I went, "Partner, please," and then just sent it.
That's brilliant.
And the second time, I actually wrote out like a 2 A4 page.
It's kind of dumb though, isn't it? That like you have to, when you fill out the partner application, you have to basically butter up the guy reading it when it has nothing to do with that. It's just stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair,
you don't have to write shit.
I was like, "Here's my address. I'll suck your dick." Like,
yeah, like I could have. I mean, and you could just write on it to say, "Give me partner. Twitch earns more when I'm partner. Suck my dick."
There's the thing is, right? There's a massive emphasis to get partner, right? But there's nothing you get different apart from like a few things, different slots. There's no appeal really in my head to get partner apart from a little tick, like you know.
Yeah, they have completely gutted any benefits that Twitch partners get now, other than like squad streams, which we don't use, guest star, which we're using right now offline, which is pretty decent. Actually, it's one of the good things that come out of Twitch.
Can you only use this if we're all partners or just you?
I think you can invite anyone. You can even invite your viewers.
Oh, okay.
Obviously you're inviting trouble, but like.
What do you mean? You've invited trouble here anyway?
I had trouble.
It's a squad stream. You can't go out with partners that has, which I always think is ludicrous. Really, like, do you know what I mean? Like, because that would probably benefit people that aren't partner the most.
Yeah. I will say Twitch's encoder is pretty good. Like, you can obviously the max frame rate, kilobyte, bit rate you can have is 6,000, right? And it does look pretty decent. And then on YouTube, I do it in 10,000, and it's not quite as decent, even though it's a higher bit rate.
All right. Oh, do you know what we should play again? Deep Rock Galactic.
I know people keep asking about that. Has it even had much change to it though?
I have no idea, but Deep Rock Galactic.
Was it good? I never played that.
I enjoyed it. Like... I don't think my audience really enjoyed it that much.
Rock and Stone, brother.
Rock and Stone,
mate,
brother.
I'm playing that on fucking Friday or Saturday. I think my mates like because people keep recommending me to it. Like
they update it a lot, like an absolute ton, and there's different seasons to it now.
Oh yeah, season 3.
So they keep adding stuff, but like, yeah, I remember we streamed it and I barely had anyone turn up to it, and I was like, oh, fucking all right, we'll do that again then.
Fair enough.
That's how it goes. Like, I was the same with New World. I streamed that, and on the first day, like, a lot of people joined, and I streamed for like 9 hours. We're on like consecutive playthroughs. Nobody turned up. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm not streaming it anymore. But I'm doing it on YouTube this week.
Oh,
and
nice.
I don't really care what the fuck I stream or do on YouTube. It's just whatever I feel like.
It's the same as like Final Fantasy though, isn't it? With like the raiding and stuff.
Yeah, it had the same banter, but like people just weren't for it. Like,
yeah, I think that's MMOs in general. I think it's really niche to be streaming MMOs. I think, for example, Josh does really well with MMOs, doesn't he? Like, because he's quite good at that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, whenever I streamed the raids, they were like massive. I mean, they started to. As I started doing more variety, when I went back to raids, people were like, I don't really want to watch this now because you have the same amount of banter in...
But a better game to look at.
Yeah.
But your numbers are much higher now, though, aren't they, than when you streamed? I mean, when you started streaming, your numbers like 600-700? Or am I just...
300. Started with 300. Got about to like 600. And then Among Us pushed me into like the 1800, 2000. Phasmophobia at one point pushed me to 3,000. And obviously, as they die off, then you go back down to whatever is actually your normal. So my normal is, it went down to something like 1200, and now I sit at around like what 1400 to 1700.
I don't know, mate. Do you know what? On the Sunday when you do Shit Show Sunday, your numbers go insanely
Can
high.
sometimes
like,
go over 2k. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I think I know what it is. So I do something on Sunday, Gary, which it's just called Shit Show Sunday, and I'll just play a different game every hour that looks
Yeah,
sketchy.
what's your stream?
Okay.
So
So something sketchy. And I think the only reason those viewers go so high, Rob, is because when I play a game for 3 hours, once somebody's been there for an hour, they go, I've seen as much as I want to see of this game, and they leave. But if you're constantly switching, you constantly keep people wanting to be like, all right, what's next? What's funny next? Because the amount of followers I get from Shit Show is the exact same as any other day. It's just more people there.
It is a good idea.
It's fun. We found an absolute gem for, yesterday, which there was one called Vade Retro Exorcist. You're basically 3 priests who have to just finish their tasks to get through the exorcism, and one of you possesses one of the characters, and that'll be the character you stay for the rest of the game. And you can literally like crawl on the walls and the ceiling. It's freaky as fuck. And you can like float people into the air, crack their bones, force push people like you're a Jedi. You can enchant objects so they attack players. It's fucking awesome.
Honestly, that's the one thing I've never understood watching all you stream and stuff. I just do not know how you play scary games. I just can't fucking hack it.
I enjoy it. Well,
Vade Retro Exorcist is not. It's not scary. It's funny.
Okay, the shark and Raft made me fucking
so
Every
good,
now and then
that
I go back to watch that because it's so fucking funny.
And the first time we played Phasmo, and you almost walked into your wardrobe.
Oh.
To be fair, Phasmophobia scared the fuck out of me when it first came out. And I think it was the audio when you walk into the house for the first time, and it sounds
goes muffled.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody has taken an ambient room noise and bumped it up, and that makes you really uneasy. And I was like, Rob, this is gonna be amazing. It's so scary. And Rob played it, and this is shit.
Yeah.
And Phasmophobia never scared me, but you talk about your numbers going crazy. I remember one time with any host or raid, down up to like 250, 300 people watching me. And that was a moan. That's why I love Phasmophobia. I loved the game when it first came out.
I love the numbers.
the numbers. But that is when you're doing it, and the audience obviously enjoy watching you play it, because I think everybody tuned in to see if I'd get scared at the game. There's only 2 times in Phasmophobia I ever got scared. It was like a little girl walking past me in it, and I shit my pants because it was like, oh, and I see this thing knee height, if you know what I mean. There was another one, but I loved Phasmophobia because it was a challenge. You were trying to speedrun it. I tried to speedrun, trying to get in and out of it.
To be fair, I remember like a wee bit when I first started getting bogged down by numbers and stuff like that. And it was because I felt like people only watched when I played Alien Isolation, and I fucking hated Alien Isolation because
I loved it.
anything that happened and I about lifted out my chair. I still remember my dad coming and bringing me my dinner, and I fell off my chair because I wasn't ready for something coming in my peripheral. Like, I just can't deal with scary stuff. I'm in my office at work now, and because I put earphones on and listen to a podcast, people touch me on the shoulder and I fly out my chair. I'm just so bad with jump scares and stuff like that. I was watching that haunted house thing before we started doing this, and I was scared. I was scared watching it.
The fucking phone call in the bar.
Would you know what? See, watching this, so much of it, I'm that staged, and I'm looking at everyone's reaction. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nah, it came out of nowhere. We
and
literally
the rope as well.
Oh, that was me.
What?
The rope swinging. That was me.
All the time. That was you.
Yeah.
What? So did Sam hear anything on the phone?
Oh yeah. So a customer called saying did I leave this in the bar? Oh. And Sam was like, you're gonna have to come back in the morning. We can't help you right now. And all I did was just cut to the end of the call where Sam's like, fuck.
It's so good. But it was still surreal.
It still scared the fuck out of us because we were like, what? The fucking phone's ringing. But there was a lot of stuff that happened that was literally just happened on its own. Like the noises we heard down in the bar when no one was down there, that wasn't us.
It was when the camera cut round and Ebbs is at the door and looks possessed, and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck her. Like,
Ems watched. She watched the edit the other day. She's like, I hope that scares somebody. I was like, it will.
oh,
But like,
I've shot myself.
Kate is adamant she saw somebody in white.
Yeah.
I don't think she did, but it is what it is.
She came back, right, and cleansed her fucking self and everything. Like she honestly, right. People might think she's. I don't think she's lying about it. I genuinely think she's seen something. She's always had this weird thing with the paranormal, like, and
that was when we were winding her up because she was telling us about. I don't know if this is in the video.
It's not in the video, but she was telling us about how like her friend got pushed down the stairs by a ghost, and we started taking the piss, saying like, Kate pushed her friend down the stairs. Yeah. And she was getting really angry. we were like, okay, let's stop.
I think you managed to sleep as well.
Oh man, I was exhausted. Like
Glenn turned up there, right, for a nap and a meal.
Well, I didn't even know if I was supposed to be going or anything. So I had like not slept the day before. And anyway, I went like last minute and we got there, and then we stayed up for a bit, and then I fell asleep, and then got back up.
Yeah, but we didn't have to stage anything at all when we went there.
No.
Like, okay, somebody took the picture off the wall, and I don't know who did it.
Right.
The rope swinging, right? So when me and Daz went downstairs, right, as I went past with the camera, I slapped the rope.
Right,
and then
it just kept going for a while.
The cash register was open, and I freaked us out, but it turns out it had been open all night. There were noises going on, and then Daz is like, I'm out. And then I was like, oh, Daz, the rope is swinging. He's like, I'm out. He's like, I'm going back upstairs, and I'm fucking giggling to myself because I just got away with it.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Is like you've got this environment which like will have spooky elements and stuff, but because of the type of people that we all are, where we're always trying to wind someone up, the combination of that wind up plus these non-constructed events happening together, everyone's like, you're messing with me. And then they're like, I'm not, honestly. And then you'll never know if people are messing or if it's an actual
by the way,
thing.
all the EMF, none of that was staged. That EMF went off on its own.
What is EMF?
It's electromagnetic frequency. Oh, I think, right, it was people's phones just receiving data, you know? Like, keeping the phone up to date with, like, apps updating and stuff. And it was just setting off the EMFs. Because right at the end, you know when we were at the table talking to John and James? That is Dale sliding his phone underneath the EMF every time I asked a question.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's when I clocked on afterwards that actually, I think this is just mobile data sending off these EMF. But I watched HVH3's haunted house thing, right? And the ghost hunters there had all sorts of stuff. They had like devices where would set off an alarm if a ghost wanted to trigger them. They had a device that the ghost could trigger yes or no. And I was like, man, this would be so good. Like having this stuff to go to an asylum with. And obviously, we're gonna stage stuff because I even told my Twitch chat when I was going there, I was like, guys, I'm going to stage some shit to freak out other SR members.
Yeah.
What I said was,
I think I would survive. Like, I think I would be like, I think I'd lose the plot.
I bet there's a place you can go, right, where you can like pay them and like they'll do stuff to freak you out.
Yeah, I'd totally be up for that. I wanna go to a haunted asylum. I think that'd be awesome.
Where would you get a haunted asylum in the UK?
There's probably a few in the UK.
Well, it wouldn't be asylum. It'd probably just be like prisons that have been abandoned. You know.
You can use our back garden if you want.
Sure.
Put a tent in there.
Yeah.
I did think about Edinburgh as a place to go do one because doesn't Edinburgh have quite a lot of haunted?
There's the haunted bagpipes and that. There's two stories in Edinburgh, Kaif, that are fucking proper freaky. But there's this whole pipe system under the Edinburgh Castle.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what they were trying to do, but they're basically trying to find out where they went and blah blah blah. So they sent a kid down with bagpipes.
Yeah.
And he's basically to keep playing the bagpipes so they know he's fine, he's moving about and where he'd come out. They never saw him again, but you still hear the bagpipes.
That's fucking.
And the other one is a lady that cheated on her husband. she got hanged for it, and then on like she was from Musselburgh, so they were taking her body back to Musselburgh to her family so she could be buried. And she woke up again. And because she'd been hanged, she'd served her punishment, so she was scot-free. Like she wasn't going to be charged anymore. They couldn't hang her again because she'd already been hanged. So she got to live out her life with the person she cheated on, but she had technically died and been hanged.
Okay.
And like she had like a broken neck and everything like that as well. But basically her husband kind of like set her up to get hanged and stuff like that. So he got hanged, and he basically haunted her house and her family for like the rest of her life.
That's kind of freaky.
It is.
That's what she
To
gets.
think that-
Sorry, what he
It would
gets.
be cool, yeah. Imagine doing a ghost hunt week where you just got a van, just went like the most haunted place in the UK and just like had nights in them, if you know what I mean. See what
Mate,
the
we
most
should
There'll be
haunted-
loads of places like scared in to go to.
I am totally down for doing it again. I mean, like on British telly, there was what's it called, Most Haunted.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
You can just go to all those
Like-
places.
We don't have to do it just for Halloween. I do it because
Yeah.
it's fucking funny.
I'd love to do it, but I just don't think my heart could take it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd need some proper convincing. Like,
when I was in the
or, like,
Scared In, I felt completely safe the whole time, even though there were things that I couldn't really explain. I was like, look, there is an explanation. I don't know what it is, but I ain't gonna fucking jump to ghosts.
I'd need you to hold my hand, Kai.
I would, mate. I would. I'd hold your hand the whole time. It'd be lovely.
I thought the scarier part of it though was
Really
just
with the other hand. So.
being in the middle of like what felt like the middle of nowhere, like
It
early
was the
hours
middle
in
of
the
nowhere,
morning,
yeah.
like running around provoking stuff. And
But I was there the whole time
Um,
going, if anything really fucked up happens, my car's right outside, and I am driving home.
like
I think getting Josh and Gary on one of the haunted houses would be funny.
Is
'cause
Josh-
they both shit their pants like.
Yeah, like so we weren't allowed to take the Ouija board because people were like,
Yeah, why is that?
because people were saying like you can't, if you do it, you actually invite ghosts in, and I'm like, bro, if we're using EMF and stuff, we are already fucking with ghosts.
Wait,
Fucking
who told
ghosts.
you couldn't do it?
Kate, Josh, and Joe. So they were like, no, nothing to do with Ouija boards. I was like, do you believe in ghosts? They're like, no. I'm like, why can't
know
we
he
take the
would-
Ouija board?
Do you know what Josh done to the Ouija board, Gary?
No.
So we,
So,
a viewer sent in a Ouija board, right? And Josh threw it out the window of the top floor of the office into the
Right.
courtyard in the rain.
we couldn't get it till the next morning
Or a dick.
because it was like, because he didn't like it.
Oh.
It wasn't open. We weren't touching it. If you know what I mean. But I think he was more angry because I put my ass cheeks in his wall.
Rob,
I think he was
I'm gonna
very
buy. I found a rug that has a Ouija board on it. I'm gonna buy it and put it in my room.
Oh, put it in Josh's room.
Oh yeah, every now and then there's gonna be a Ouija board rug in Josh's room.
Oh,
Or what to do is turn it upside down.
Keith,
and you
I've got
never know.
something. I've got something from a viewer that's going to freak you out. By the way.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, I'd need some proper like hardcore convincing to do it, but part of me was like, oh,
Mate, I'll pay you.
it'd be good you don't have to pay me. Just I need.
that is creepy.
Fucking hell.
No, I don't like that.
That is creepy.
I don't like. I don't like that. I don't-
almost so much.
Kaif, imagine that came around the corner in a dark room like that fucking mask.
That's the thing. See, the more and more you do, the more each person will like try and work on pranks, and just like the worse it's gonna get.
Mate, I couldn't believe, right, when we were in Spirit, the fucking the water running was not us. Like,
Yeah,
it was a timed system or something like that. It came on
Okay.
and it was all running, and we were like, what the fuck? And there was just a lot of weird things that happened that we didn't do, and we're like, sweet content.
Yeah. I've just had a look at the time, by the way. I'm gonna have to go.
I was going to say we were 2 hours anyway, so.
Yeah, so that's all we needed, Gary.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go lie down.
Let me end the podcast and let me say,
Okay.
like, and that's the podcast ended by. I don't know. I don't know how to end these things. Like, thanks for tuning into the podcast next week. Thank you for tuning into the podcast this week with COVID boy Glenn, Keith, and Gary, who's now returning to streaming next week. So tune in for that.
Nice one. Just spout lies, like.
Bye.
You got to beat the thumbnail. See you all later.
Fuck you.
Bye bye.